life. Apparently cost them their tier 2 top tower as well. Things are getting very dark indeed for OG in this game 1.
The lead's gonna build here. The one thing about OG is this team is very good at stalling games. Like, they understand that they are a very strong late game team. Between the three cores synergizing in late game fights with the net worth they can bring out. I've seen them take fights from 20k down like it was nothing. The thing they have to keep in mind is you're playing against a Slark Mirana lineup. So one, you have this Moonlight that can move people around very fast, set up a lot easier. You cannot sentry everywhere on the map, especially these deep side lanes you want to split push. And then Slark is going to run around and kill all your vision. It just makes it even harder on top of that as well. So while I think OG has the heroes to split push this game out and take a later game fight with the Ember timings, I think there's also a lot of tools on Tundra's side to shut that down, just destroy the vision, and we're already seeing it. Like, you just got up some deep, dire wards, but Skeeter's running through here, and he's pinging it. And he's literally just pinging, hey guys, check around the area, get some freebies.
Yeah, I mean, they may get these wards, but I think OG not that unhappy with the way the map is being split right now. You see them run all the way down bottom, Tundra reacts when OG's already up in top lane buying some time. Like, you know, the gold lead, since they got the Aegis, not really changed very much.
Nisha, that was rather bold. Anything for that extra frostbite, I guess. You just walked in melee range to the birds on that one, and Tundra's like, okay, we are already planning on pressuring some more. Ooh, Amar? Saksa really trying to force this by going behind. It does set up Amar for the opportunity. The epicenter for the Avalanche actually went out there and stalled things out, and with the Morphling already dead, there goes all your damage. Tundra, they're just way too big.
I mean, where's your damage going to come from? You already have full Wraith Pack type on this Viscid.
Sand King does literally no damage at that point.
You do nothing. I think if Sand King channels all of his spells and connects them on everybody, you're doing like 500 damage. And they sit there and go, what's up? You know? On top of that, you still have Aegis on the Slark. I don't think you can take these fights. I don't even think OG should really be trying to take these fights. I don't think it's possible. Even if 99% of your theory goes right. I think you have to split push this map. Maybe if you do that, your win probability isn't as high as taking that tier 2 fight. I can understand why they feel like maybe there's an opening, but this is just a rough spot to be in. And now Skeeter with the Mirana ults, nice little synergy, finding the freebies.
Quick kill on Misha, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, this comes back to, I mean, we talked about the heroes and the fact that OG's damage very, very similar, and suddenly this Wraith Pack pipe comes out, and you're looking at the heroes and you're like, wow, we can't kill anyone. And when you're in that state where you're just dodging and you're just sliding around the map, it's all on the other team to mess up because they have all the power in the world. They can kill you and you can't kill them, and suddenly they're just squeezing you in. You're getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and then suddenly you have no net worth and they just throw on you.
I agree. This map is entirely Tundra's control, and like we saw earlier, they're just farming it up everywhere. I mean, Skeeter's just going into the whole team alone.
Finds an opening here. Taiga not going to be hit by the arrow, but still hit by that extra pounce. He's going to have a little bit of help here. Does, of course, have the Aegis, so it's perfectly fine for Skeeter to be super aggressive here. After all, he's setting up the rest of the team to come in from behind. Nice block in there with the shards. He's going to set up an arrow. That's going to land onto Taiga. They're going to leave their supports behind. OG full bailing out once again. They do not have the firepower to win team fights. They cannot win 5-on-5. So as soon as Tundra shows up in force, they have to retreat.
This is high ground. This is good for sure. I think Tundra just stays around. Are you afraid of any sort of 5-on-5 at this point? No, you have all the auras. You have the drum on Snake King. He has 4 staff as well. All the Visage auras that we talked about. You have BKB on your Tusk. This is such a huge power spike at 20 minutes of the game.
What can OG do? They're literally just helpless. They're watching their buildings die. I think if Tundra went top, which, I mean, they're probably going to play it safe and farm a little more gold, wait for the right jump, but, I mean, there's the drum, the 4 staff, the Wraith Pack, the pipe, like, they've got all the Tundra items, and they're running it down your throat.
Nice. Good toss back. I mean, he just has so many setups, right? If you toss him straight up in the air, it would have been an arrow. He tosses him over the Skeeter to allow the pounce to land. Tips start coming out. Snake King, I mean, Amar, no impact, no idea. He has not had a whole lot of fun in this Sand King game. And I think
Yo guys, good morning sa inyo mga boss. Pasensya na, medyo na-late ako.
How they were preemptively setting up
Sakay nakabit.
for Tundra's like zoo stuff and how they drafted a certain way specifically. And it seems to have put OG out of their own comfort zone. I mean, Amar does not look like Amar right now.
Shoutout kay Kim, kay boss dyan. Di kayo pupunta bukas dito sa SM Cabanatuan Mega. Actually, 50-50 ako boss eh. Kasi may trangkaso pa ako eh. Depende. Pero nakalatag na yung budget namin. Bagay na ibigay na sa ano namin dito, representative. Shoutout kay boss Jordan, OG since day 1. Let's go. Uy! Pay, let it go! Let it go! Bugbog OG par. Ayaw niyo pa itawag. Tawag nyo na yan par. Gagi kawawa OG ah. Nangyari. GG. GG par. GG. Kawawa OG pare.
And I think one of the big things about that draft in that game is OG knew that the zoo was coming, right? They left it in the band. You know they can always pick this Visage at any point and flex all the other heroes to wherever they want to flex them, you know, usual. So you know this rate pack fight is coming.
Guys, pa-share naman ang stream natin, guys. Thank you so much. Sa mga wala pang followers badge dyan, type nyo lang exclamation notify.
You can take those early towers.
Panalo nyo series OG. Bakit sa OG ka nagbet? Gagi, Tundra to pre. Ano ka ba? Nakabadong na nga lang yung OG dito sa ano yung si Snaking. Galit na galit.
Just on the back foot this entire game. You can feel this pressure from this Visage. Like if you just looked at top lane alone, it's just so scary. Your Morphling's getting kicked out by this one hero. You know, and you really just don't want to happen, especially when it's Neta. He's buying these items. Like you can just feel the push coming, and what are you gonna do?
Yeah, they didn't even need to
gold me siya.
to force him out. Yeah. We were thinking, oh, they have to bring.
GG na par. 1-0.
The Visage is so strong. He has such an early 6. He just kicked him to the jungle himself. You're in trouble now. Mar has to go up there.
Sakay nakabet dito. Sakay nakabet.
Snaking with his Crimson. And what are you gonna do?
You know what Tundra is going to do, but you have to be able to find a way to be able to address it here in this series, and maybe our panel has some good ideas about that.
I'm gonna find out.
Binata yung OG.
Thank you so much.
Delay ako ng ano eh, 3 minutes eh. May delay tong stream natin guys ha, 3 minutes delay.
OG, and at some point we're watching the game because like, why does this Morphling not have anything? Why did that Morphling not have anything?
I mean, it's the laning stage. They were. Sorry, it's my fault that they lost. No, it's this position for Tiny that did like. I thought that he was going to fall off a little bit after the recent changes. But then people figured out, you know, we're going to take the 3-grab level 1 and be able to
like, lane.
Yeah, you can actually lane. You're not. You don't need to use as much mana as you
did
before. We went for Toss and the Avalanche, and also this super strong laner. Like you need to be very careful how you're gonna approach. And one thing I always liked about 33 as a player is all the small items that he buys. Like he's just gonna buy every possible small item in the lane to be able to just win that lane and snowball, because he knows that most of the time he's playing those zoo heroes and will give them momentum.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just so impressed that
let it go, can't hold it back anymore.
I feel like this hero in the hands of another team in the first phase as the hard support would not have looked like that. So
Talo na
also
OG.
incredibly impressive.
1-0 nga eh.
He was hitting the arrows around the setup. There was that really cool epicenter cancel in the bottom jungle fight where he basically just won the fight for his team. So really good stuff coming out there. It was just, for me, I could simplify this game to a very simple concept, which is the only anti-zoo hero or the hero they were dependent on entirely on the side of OG to kind of stabilize them and fight back in this game for them was the Sand King. And Tundra just focused all of their early game resources, all of their rotations to going down to Sand King's lane, killing Amar over and over and chasing him into the triangle at minute 8. And sure, maybe they got a return kill or two, but it just was not enough. That Sand King didn't come online early enough, and Visage was just able to take the entire map.
I totally agree. That's the exact thing that I was looking at as well. I don't know if it's a Sand King thing or if it's an Amar thing that Tundra was looking to punish.
Ay, nako.
But the way that OG
kamusta naman yung mga umaga nyo guys? Kamusta yung mga bet nyo dyan?
They stack the hard camp for him. And he plays as a carry, farming those stacks to get his Blink Dagger. So they contested the Ancients, and he was so salty about that he epied them the Ancients while Tundra was there contesting it. And then
I don't care, I hit creep.
Exactly.
Right there.
And then he goes for the recovery play of sitting in the safe lane and defending the tower for as long as
Dito na lang tayo manood para may
do on Sand King 2, get the blink usually if you don't have ancient stacks. And Snake King was there already with the sentry. So it's like Tundra was just like, okay, if we punish Amar with this Sand King strategy, don't let him get the blink dagger, we're going to snowball on them. And they did. They were right.
Let it go, let it go.
On the mark in the ban phase as well to make sure that there was not really that many Sand King. Sand King is like, okay, we can deal with the Sand King, you know, maybe you don't want to face the Razor, the Timber, or the Mars.
Let it
just
go.
and you got a manageable Amar hero, which is not always
Alam
an
palag
easy thing to
OG
do.
ah.
It felt like Tundra had a very easy
Axie
game.
na lang ulit,
Do want
boss.
to also take it back a
Wala
little
pa
bit
naman
to the
eh.
draft
O nga no,
because
wala
we're
pa naman
with,
no.
Crystal Maiden Ember
Maybes.
on the side of OG Lacoste, and that's fairly unusual. First of all, to have Crystal Maiden first pick, but also instantly with that Ember, it didn't feel like that really had a big impact for them in that game.
Definitely not.
Laro muna tayo habang wala pa. Habang iniintay pa natin.
Heroes like Crystal Maiden, yeah, she's really up there.
Sinend na kaya yung Axie?
But
Ni-request
the
kong
Ember
Axie.
Spirit, like this hero always pops up when the games like really matter, and I feel like he tends to underperform as a hero. I don't think it's specific to like players playing it, because
Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore.
Like, other spirits definitely feel
Let
I
it
think Glenn pointed something out
go, let
during
it
the game
go.
that was pretty interesting about like Ember versus Tusk, and the fact that if the game is kind of like stagnant and both teams are just farming, Ember sits in a lane and just constantly sleight of fist whoever's there, and then pushes the creep wave out too now because the hero damage and the creep damage is the same. So that's really beneficial for Ember to be playing in a stagnant game, and Tundra did not give that to them. They were constantly contesting, constantly running in and taking farm from the other jungle and not their own. So it's like a game like that just doesn't favor Ember, and I think the reason we see a trend that Ember falls off around TI is because there's a lot of five-manning and
Farm muna tayo Moonshard, pre. Habang naghihintay.
Yeah, it is back to the drawing board for OG, of course, after that first game. Gives us a little
Let
bit of
it
a breather as well.
go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Kailan laban ang boom? Mamaya yata. Ay. Diamond 3 na ako. Ganda ng pagkapatay sa morph. Kaya ngayon. Hindi underrated yung Tundra, pre. Malakas talaga to sila Snake King. Boss Ian, malakas talaga to sila. Lagi lang sila napapatulog ng OG dati, nila Notail. Pero malakas talaga tong Tundra.
Real excited. No, I also I did a Dota capitalist, you know, and wanted the water bottle deal. Very bad move. But it's exciting over here. Very human.
Let it go, let it go.
People sitting in these two seats.
These two seats. Now, you guys at home might not know how close the audience is to the stage. I am literally watching it. This is a legal.
Then hold it back anymore. Let it go. Okay pa kaya mag-bet dito, pre? Bet kaya tayo. Game 2. Tundra, no? Bet kaya tayo Tundra. Tanggal na daw defending champ. Oo. Nilaglag lang naman sila ng boom. Ng ating boom nila teams. Talo na naman ako sa pusta. Okay lang yan, pre. Bawi ka na lang. EG. Kaso nalaglag sa lower bracket EG natin.
Can you name one person on Tundra?
9.
Okay, alright. Actually, Tundra fan?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I watch every match.
Really?
Bakit naman ang bonus ko, pre?
Okay, thank you. Very creative. In fact, the jersey, right?
Kailan next? Guys, anong oras laban ng boom? Di ba may laro sila ngayon? Alam ko may laro sila ngayong araw. Wait nga, check ko lang schedule. Wait lang. Wait lang ha.
Yes, his
Check natin schedule.
How did you get your hands on this?
I will show you 9.
Alam ko may laro sila, wait lang. Ay putang ina naman bunot yan, pare. Ano ba naman yan?
What do you think about your younger bro?
Anong klase yan, par?
Don't know. I'm sitting here right now, so I think he reached the first step of his dream.
Oh, okay. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, and I can be here through.
Puta, sa likod ba tumama?
It's getting too emotional for me. Get your ass up. We're gonna put you in the front.
Balik natin to, pre. Mamaya, ito barahan natin, no?
Get to your seat.
Kasama yung Nemo. Okay yung bunot natin mamaya. Pwede natin mapatay ito.
OG fan in the house.
EG number 1 since day 1. Alas 7 ba, Ren? Wait lang. Alas 7 daw, sabi ni Ren eh. Eto na. Ayun, meron. Ano? Ang first series, OG Tundra. Pangalawa, Liquid Aster. Pangatlo, EG Biscos. Pang-apat. Uy, maganda yung mamaya. Dat pala mamaya na lang ako nag-watch party, pre. Para EG, tsaka boom. No?
Big OG fan.
Since the beginning, since monkey business.
At mamaya na lang ako nag-ano ah.
What do you think about this squad's chances this year?
Ayaw ko patayin to
I
eh.
think they have a lot of talent.
Ayaw ko patayin to.
They
Hindot
might be
na
a
to
bit
eh.
nervous, they're a bit young, but I
Hindot
think
ka
they
ah.
can
Bye-bye!
really get going.
I think we're gonna push it to a game
Bye-bye! Wala ka ng Soul Star.
Are you willing to sit next to
Lord, salag sa dance
a
contest.
fan
Ganun mo kumanta.
of not OG?
Ay na mo, pause pa nga ako na ito,
Because you're
pre.
sitting by all OG.
Diamond 3 na ako, boss Ian. Pa-ascendant na ako. Konting push pa.
Come on up here. Watch your step. Oh my God.
Gagi, sabi naririnig daw eh, no? Naririnig daw pala.
Let's go. Oh, hello. Jeez. All right. Okay.
All right, international friendship.
All right. Sit down. Sit down.
Bigay
Can
ko
we
tong
see a
likuran
friendly
ko.
handshake?
Para may Soul Star tayo. Dito yung mga barahan. Dito yung mga barahan na punta eh. So, mabubunot natin 1 card sabay Soul Star. Dead na to.
Coming together being BFFs.
I'm sorry for this whole crowd. I picked the tallest man to sit in the front seat. Can you scooch down? Just thank you.
There you go. Hell yeah.
All right, who's ready to see this go to game 3?
Kalbo. Parang ang boring ng mga fans ngayon, pre. Dapat dito na lang kasi kayo sa TI sa Pilipinas mag-TI. Sabi ko sa inyo, hindi namin kayo bibiguin.
Thank you very much. To help people problems by being in the front.
Dito na lang, hindi namin kayo bibiguin, pre.
Let's talk about what adjustments we need to see if we want to get that game 3, because I think there's a lot of fans, regardless of whether you're cheering for Tundra or OG,
Uy,
you
gago.
want to see that third game. And if we adjustments,
Laka.
where are you starting?
I think for the most part,
Gogi.
if you're going to let this visage through, or one of these
Puta ka.
heroes through, you need to have more than just one solution. OG's strategy
Puta
played
piso.
one part
Nako,
when
delikado
their
pa ako
Zen
rito,
couldn't
pre.
have a game, so I don't think it was a matter of OG not playing well.
Oh,
I
si
think in the
Awi.
first 10 minutes of that game, there were a little bit of
Nag-champion ba
moves
si
that OG
Awi?
could have done differently, but first and foremost, just don't give Tundra their comfort, and you'll be in a
Last
much better
game
situation
sila.
already.
Okay.
Right? We've seen all of these teams target ban
Sana
33
nakakailang.
Liverpool over and over.
3 minutes
Just do
delay
it.
ako, guys.
It's fine.
Nakakailang.
Forget about the crystal maiden.
Hahaha, panalo pa rin.
Because his hero pool at this tournament really is not
Let
that
it
big.
go.
I believe he
Nagbabol
played
ka pa.
1, 2, 3, 6 heroes only so far.
Oh.
So that's bannable. The whole hero pool.
Ban!
Got 6 bans.
Yeah, the map checks out. They're pretty much
X.
heroes.
Actually, you got 7 bans, so you get
Farm
one
lang
extra.
tayo, pre, habang naghihintay tayo.
for OG to
Sa mga wala pang followers badge dyan, guys, type nyo lang exclamation notify.
When I say Foracle, for Oracle,
Magkakaroon kayo ng badge, pare.
Taiga playing something different, you know, something that can play a bit more aggressive in your face, because they were like sitting back quite a lot. Having Crystal Maiden, Oracle, sure, these 2 heroes are really good when you're
Tanggal angas. Legit pa sa legit.
the game gets very, very.
Balik ko tong goal.
If you compare Crystal Maiden, Oracle,
Mediocre pala, ah. Sabi nila sa boom, mediocre team, no? Mediocre pala. Ayan, nilaglag kayo ng
I
mediocre.
think for the whole year, we
Mediocre
watched a lot
pala,
of
ah.
Western EU, DPC.
Laglag kayo sa
and,
mediocre team.
Taiga, we always said Taiga was the reason OG could play so greedy on their 3 cores, and that he just does so much in all of the lanes. And so, yeah, we'll hope to see that again here.
The thing is, I don't think that
Ayun na.
Oracle is a
Ayun na,
problem
si
in general.
Kalbo.
I think OG have found something
Kalbo,
very cool for themselves,
kalbo,
where they've found a
kalbo
floor
na
that
namang
can both be
muli.
defensive
Anong
but
oras,
also
boom?
defensive,
Mamaya pa yun,
given
boss.
that his
Last
lane goes
game.
long, right? Oracle can actually bust out a serious amount of damage at level 7, and they tend to pair him with any kind of
Alas 7 daw eh.
Tidehunter or something.
Sabi,
It
alas
just
7.
went so badly for them that it started to look terrible, right? So I'm not saying that OG need to change the way that they do things for their own drafts, but kind of change what they're playing against. Just make sure you don't have a zoo that can go out of control.
Nako.
We've seen a lot of times in these LAN tournaments, specifically the non-DPC Riyadh Masters, when 33's hero pool got...
Lipat tayo dito sa taas kasi
In
magdadrop.
one of the tournaments, I can't remember which one.
Magdadrop eh, lipat tayo sa
It
taas,
was one of
pre.
the majors, I believe. Arlington, when 33 got target banned in almost every single game in the groups, they just were not winning
Uy.
games.
Yeah, he is a key component to the roster and to the draft for sure, as we know with all the different zoo heroes, as an example, that he can play for sure.
Patapusan mo
But
na.
also some extra credit, of course, OG.
Patapusan mo na.
The youngest
Bye-bye.
players of the international, 17 years on both.
Okay, game, guys. Game 2.
Right here and
Kanino kayo
PZM.
dito, pre?
This is their first international. We know they've played on many
Tundra
stages,
versus OG.
but of course, this is the international.
Tundra
A little
OG.
bit extra pressure here. And I know, because you said before the series started, we've heard it from Skeeter. He said Tundra on LAN is heralds. I thought it went pretty well.
Yeah, I said they need this win to be able to like, get that confidence for the rest of the tournament, and especially for this series coming into the game 2. And they got it.
Here I
stand. Because Tundra, when they're on a roll, they really are.
But it also
Cole
does
never
feel
bothered me anyway.
you gotta respect the
May Joker.
camaraderie going
May
on.
Joker pala. May Joker sila. May Joker naman kayo.
European teams, Tundra
Joker
is one of the
kayo
teams
eh.
that is most confident in playing against OG for reasons we've talked about before. Just in the way that the DPC system is set up, they often play against each other.
Nag-champion yun sa AG dati. Oh, si Awi, no?
Even when OG is looking fire hot, they still lose to Tundra in the DPC format.
Yeah, I mean...
Gagi, puso yung kalaban natin, no?
Is,
Puso yung kalaban natin, pre.
want to adjust.
Makapatay ba to?
There's no clear-cut answer.
Hindi ka mo lang makapatay.
Obviously, they left in the
Tayo mo na yung harap ko.
intentionally with the idea that they were going to
Sila Sumail ba kasama nila nun?
you know, potentially the Sand King is a big part of that, which they've been doing throughout the group stages.
EGTI champion.
And the question is, for me, do they feel like Tundra countered their counter
2015. Sino-sino player nila?
Do they go and pick the
Si Fear, Sumail, Universe, Awi, tsaka si PPD. Oo, tama. Ano nakakamiss yung mga team dati? RTZ. Sa Secret, RTZ, S4. Sai, Kuroki, Papi. IG, nandito pa si Burning, oh. Si Ferrari, oh. Chuan, Fate, Luo. Si Hawo, tanginang mga legendary pre. Si Ice, FY. LGD, Sylar, si Maybe, ito, si Somnus, si Yao, Xiao 8, MMY. Si sa Cloud9, si Isama. Si Fata, Bone 7, Big Daddy. Si Notel to eh. Si Notel tong Big Daddy. Empire, oh, Silent, Reso. Yoki, Aloha, Always Wanna Fly. Si Illidan, DK Pobos. Fanatic, Mushi, Ohio. Johnny, KYXY. Rabbit Mo, June, Banana, Sunshine. ROTK, Ilan.
You know, I would really like
Ang ina yung mga roster dati, oh. Uy, Nabi, dito pa, oh. XBO City, Dandy, Phonic, Art Style, Soneiko. Walang Philippine team dito, ah. Walang C team dito, pre, ah. Game! Start na, par.
That was my argument, or at least the way that I was thinking about what Lacoste was
Oh,
saying.
diba? Tama.
The Oracle.
Abed Indo
It's
Pride.
not that the Oracle isn't like good at
Okay, game.
providing damage and contributing to ganks. It's that the Oracle's the
Kasama na si Calvo. First pick ni Rana.
It can often look a lot better for OG when he is the one to start things, the one to do things. And Oracle
First pick
doesn't
ni
really do
Rana,
that,
pre.
even though he is active in a lot of ganks. And Marcy would let him do that. Clockwork, something like that, would let him do that.
First pick ni Rana, para.
But Tundra, just go back to that Murano.
Iko
It
lang.
is a hero that Sox has played.
Sama-sama
It is
dito.
now a
Sama-sama
hero
dito.
that's snaking.
It's Snaking's best hero.
Ano tika na? Pag yung tubig. Sa segunda,
Now,
bago ba
this
tumba?
hero can be put on either sideline depending on which heroes are going to go here. I don't think this hero is
Bandung tsaka ano, Pandaing, tapos Pango, PA.
Tundra is trying to break the game. Like, how often do you see position
Oracle.
Mirana? And also not starting with the arrows, starting with the Starstorm instead.
Ano to, Oscar?
Reading the recent
Oscar
changes,
pick,
you know,
Ursa.
testing things out. So, you know, that's,
Pag nagganyan sila, matik battle type yung carry nila eh. Pag nagpick ng ganyan eh. Nice.
That we wanted to mention, but Jenkins always wanted to be a fool. But yeah, it was
lots of mangoes.
It was 3 mangoes on Slark. Mirana did start with 4 branches, 6 tangos, and the Fairy Fire being able to like trade with whatever comes at her. And okay, this is a bit of an adjustment for OG.
Ganda ng bunot ni pare ko eh.
But I do like this more than the Ember already, because Primal Beast as a hero, right, he's flexible in that you can put him on the mid lane, the off lane, you can also have
Primal Beast?
Even 5 is good, honestly.
Dog rep.
Can give you a lot, but
Sim, Ian. Balo kasi tayo. Ayaw mo ba, ano na ba rank mo?
have to go incredibly well, even though usually it does.
Si Awi, oh. Si Coach
It's
Awi.
so easy for him to respond to aggression, right? He has this insane gap close ability that makes him just close off this
You
distance.
never lack damage with this hero on your team either. Like, he does so much damage with Trample, and it scales too.
And you also do have a hero that goes in without needing an item, something that did happen in the previous game where like Sanky can't just run in. You did have Crystal Maiden and Oracle as your support, so you are relying on that Blink Dagger. This time around, Primal Beast can just go in, have an Oracle behind you, which means that you don't need to care too much. There's going to be Oracle that's going to save you, and something that Shank has pointed out. You're always going to have enough damage.
And I just think that this Primal Beast
Push strat Tundra.
do so much.
Baka mag-laikan din to. Gayahin nila yung ginawa ng ano, pre. Ng tawag dito. Yung kalaban ng ano, RNG. Entity.
So often when a mid hero can't get moves, it kind of really sucks for them because you
Pwede
don't
ba sila
know if the
mag-laikan?
side lane TP is going to translate to a kill. Because when you want to go back to your base, it's best to just go to a side lane, get a kill, and go back mid. A lot of heroes can lose so much by doing that, but Primal Beast isn't one of those heroes because
runs over cliffs to get back.
It's just too simple for him to do it.
I think the big change to Primal Beast that made him good at going in without items, like you guys were mentioning, is the fact that you can use your Uproar during the ult now. Because when you go in and use the ult, it drives a lot of the focus onto you, and so you just get max Uproar stacks immediately, and all of a sudden everybody's slowed to a
Shit
crawl.
sa segunda, bago mapatumba.
Massive amount of armor.
Maisip ka ng rhyme na maganda.
Yeah, just a massive amount of armor on the hero that has the highest strength gain in the entire game.
EI5.
It's a lot of HP to chew through.
Do you know what looks like a really good hero for Tundra, though? I think they have put it once or twice too already, but the Shadow Demon versus the Primal Beast and the Oracle, while having Ron on your team, you gotta set up for the arrow, but you also get Purge to just... The Purge stops everything that Primal Beast wants to do, right? It stops him from charging, it stops Trample from doing any damage. You also have the Disruption to save an ally. It just gives you a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised if Tundra go for it.
Yeah, it's a hard counter to Oracle too, right?
Yeah.
Constant
Libo-libo na Pilipino.
that are coming through when Oracle presses
Libo
the
ko,
ult.
di ka ba nagugulat sa mga naganap? Di ko din nilang kung ba't ako sikat.
And if you play 4 and get an early Ags, it just gives you so much more that you can do in the game too. And we've seen that Tundra doesn't mind giving up on priority to the supports when they need to.
Banaga, ban sniper. Game 100 SLP Tundra. 100 SLP daw, oh.
Of course, we've seen him
Wala
on the
gagi.
top mid quite a few times, Tiny as well. And now the Luna removed for Skeeter, and there's the Marcy.
Oh, Marcy.
Marcy. Gandang pick na ito. Marcy pick, pre.
Usually it's like
Nice one to, nice one.
It's actually one of the sickest combos in Dota 2. Like, they happen to be the two OP new heroes, so that already is interesting.
Nice
to see
one,
them on team. But the move speed that Marcy provides, and then throwing people back into Trample, it's one of the nastiest combos ever. It really makes it so that if this Primal Beast is going to be a core, which it looks like it probably is given these heroes, his scaling with Trample is going to be... It's just so much damage.
Yeah, that looks like a spooky 3 coming out from there.
Marcy.
Of course, we have seen Tundra prioritizing the Visage this time earlier.
Iron lang.
Unfair for it getting
Ang inang niyang iron yan.
One thing though, on the side of Tundra, I don't think, Jenkins, there's any doubt about who's playing what at this point. Or are you expecting some kind of flex somewhere? Maybe now?
it's back.
Uy! Baratrum! Ano meaning ng OG?
Yeah, we're pretty sure where these heroes are going to
Original.
go. I really like the Earthshaker pick. I really love Earthshaker against these backline heroes like Oracle and Dazzle, because you can go in and focus a guy on the front line, and then you fissure the backline to prevent them from
Baratrum, gagi. Ganda ng lineup ng ano, pre, oh.
Also are two heroes that run into you and just
pwede na pala yung click tong mga to, no?
I'll go slam you, no big deal.
If I was an Oracle player in this
Ongoing.
game, I would have a really difficult time. I'm against Spirit Breaker, Shaker, like Mirana, Visage Birds. It just gets very, very difficult as time goes by.
Yeah, I will say though that having the Spirit Breaker and the Earthshaker come out together, it looks like at some point in the game, in the early game, Tundra will lack a lot of damage. We've seen how Saksa likes to rotate while 33 after he secures his lane, and he just kind of farms up, tries to get that rate pack timing, tries to get that price timing, and he's just playing with 9 the entire time. But between Spirit Breaker and Earthshaker, they actually don't really have that much damage. So it may be a little bit different to last game in that they can't do the heavily...
OG bata yata ibig sabihin niyan, pre. OG bata.
OG can easily live...
Alam mo ba si OG bata?
Timber not Victor ban. Am I crazy here? How isn't this a god tier Timber?
Putang na, nawala yung harapan ko,
Visage birds, you're gonna get max reactive.
When Amar was on panel, I saw, I think, 4 strength heroes, and Amar said, you know, it's not a good Timber.
Nawala yung frontline ko, pre, ah.
I do. If someone
Earthshaker,
if someone comes to my mind when there's a Timber Saw, that's definitely Amar, but.
That is a Phantom Lancer. I mean, Uragi is good at it.
Magkano price pool? 16M? 16M USD?
Yes.
Ah, tama ba? 14. Hindi ko alam kung 14 o 16. Hindi ko sure, ah.
This is gonna be most likely mid Spirit Breaker, so that means that his abilities are gonna be maxed out early on, which makes things more difficult for Phantom Lancer to play the game. And that's one of the reasons why Tundra does have most Roshan kills per game is this is buying all these small items that we mentioned, having this class, having this rate pack early on, which does allow them to kill Roshan and then snowball, get more advantage in the early game.
And this will be the first Phantom Lancer game that OG plays this event.
The thing is, I don't think that this is a bad PL game, though. Like, I look at it, and I can see this PL doing a lot, right? Because you look at his lane versus Earthshaker and Visage, they
Phantom
don't really
Lancer.
have that much kill threat on him in the laning stage until
Walang pang clear yung ano, bukod sa ES, eh.
or it becomes just
No?
easier to change the
Walang pang clear sila sa ilo ng Phantom Lancer, eh.
get away if he needs to. He can also
I like that
farm
pick,
relatively
pare.
quickly, and when he does get to the point, the only threat on the team is just the Earthshaker Echo Slam. The other 3 heroes are pretty easy to kill. So I can honestly see this going really well for OG. And like I mentioned before, I do think Tundra are going to run into a bit of a problem where they lack some early game damage when they're playing away from the Visage.
Kailangan pang-counter ng Tundra, pre. Wala silang pang-counter sa Illusion.
They just have really slow damage output.
Wala silang pang-counter sa Illusion.
The mid lane against the Primal Beast. I mean, this is not the matchup that I've seen, but sounds a bit better than having Spirit Breaker on the mid lane.
Ngayon pwede nila i-pick pang-counter sa Illusion.
I have seen a bit of Spirit Breaker 4 position throughout the group stage, actually.
Yes,
so
there were a couple.
I could see that being that makes the Earthshaker much better against the PL as a counter. When he's
Earthshaker as a 4 is a bit slow,
Aggressive
especially if
versus
lanes are not going well. If you don't
see.
have like someone to kill the towers early on, which they do have Visage, but you never know how the laning stage is going to go. So you've seen some Earthshakers struggle to get the Blink Dagger, opting for the Shard sometimes when they cannot get that Blink Dagger.
But with the flex potential in mind, the 9 plays...
Kailangan nilang pang-clear ng Illusion, pre.
We've seen Mirana coming out from the off lane, and we carry Mirana, who knows? You know, there's...
Pwede naman sila mag-mid ng ano rito, Snapfire. Mid-Snapfire pwede pa.
9 did play mid Mirana.
He also did that.
Kailangan nilang pang-clear sa ano.
There's a lot of potential. I mean, it's Tundra. There always is a lot of unusual hero matchups in terms of lanes. But with that in mind, they can just wait it out, see what OG goes for with their last and final pick, and then match up the lanes the way they think is beneficial for them.
Snapfire. Pwede talaga Snapfire, pre, kaso wala silang pang ano. Hindi, kukuha ng carry to. Carry kukunin na itong ano, Tundra.
They need something that's just online with no resources, and it's just
So kung
unfortunate
carry,
that there's no Pango in this game. It gets found out. That's one of the best heroes to fit the bill for you there.
Yeah, Pango would have been really nice, like stunning the birds, stunning the Earthshaker and the Spirit Breaker. Who are gonna, you know, jump in there. I mean, there's still Timber, but the question is like, is Timber too like? He'll sit in a lane and farm. Like maybe he's too do nothing. You know,
There's Puck still for OG.
There's a lifestealer coming.
I see the Puck working out. It's really solid against Spirit Breaker too.
This is a good response to what OG has at the moment. Well, this Lifestealer is not afraid of any of these heroes, and it's a good
Lifestealer.
Yep, and Tundra
wala mo lang sa kalate last year. Oo nga, mababa ngayon, pre. Pangit kasi nung mga ano, pre, laman ng Battle Pass. Hindi ganun ka, ano.
But on both sides, they're saying, yes, there are some counters, but we're still confident.
Oh, with Timber. So, gandang pick.
3 strength heroes in a Visage who's going to give you max reactive stacks. It already felt good.
Gandang
and the
pick
life
niyan,
stealer
Timber.
coming out, there's just not much pressure on a Timber.
And now that we know that it's a mid Primal Beast, we
Solid
can be
pick yan,
certain
pre.
that OG are going to be able to fight into Tundra early on too, because Primal Beast can offer that to you. The
Okay,
same
game.
Tango does.
Galing na
We
natin
just
game.
assume that it would be comboed up with the Marcy, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, right? You're having a Timber Saw who can kind of self-sustain on the lane enables Marcy to go play with the Primal Beast instead of the Primal Beast coming to them.
Yep, she's like the best.
Ba yung
roamer
crowd
in the
na yan,
game,
pre?
so
Walang
it's funny that
wala.
anytime you come up with a, oh yeah,
Ang
this
tamlay
hero's
ng
really good
crowd.
with another one, it's like, well, then you could throw it mid too because she roams mid. She's the best roamer to go mid in the patch.
Yep. And in the end, it's going to be Spirit Breaker played by 9. The old school combo, Life Stealer plus Spirit Breaker.
Tamlay naman ang crowd, pre.
That's going to be very
I would love to see
interesting to
that.
watch.
So the thing is, Tundra are playing for a specific timing, and I think that if they kind of mess it up a little bit, then the Timber Saw and the PL are going to scale incredibly well and carry OG to victory here. But if Tundra can pull off what they did in Game 1, could be difficult for OG, but I think OG are much better equipped this time around.
From what I can hear from you guys,
Gagi
you
naman,
feel
pre.
that OG in the laning stage has got a better solution to what
Di pa
Tundra has this time,
binigay,
so they should be able
goldfish.
to properly play their game plan this time around.
Definitely.
It'll be a game.
It'll be a game.
We'll get to see a mid.
I think they'll do. I honestly think OG will win this one, but we'll see. I don't want to jinx them.
All right. No
Kanino kayo
jinxing
dito?
happening here on
Pick?
the side of Tundra. It did. The heroes were picked that we were
Oh,
expecting
pang mid
by
game
the
pa yung ano eh.
players, so we will
Hindi
see
sinotel,
Indeed
hindi,
Laurent
hindi.
at position 5 once
Pang mid
again.
game
We
pa
will
kasi
see
yung
the
roster
shake-up.
lineup ng
There's
Tundra
nothing
eh.
unusual there, other than, I mean, unusual is still Spirit Breaker mid. Very curious how that will play out. Do we have a Spirit Breaker versus Primal Beast? Have we seen that?
I don't think so.
Any reference points?
I was thinking about it, and I guess there's some cool stuff like Bulldoze versus Pulverize, but. And then he can charge fast, so if he sees the Primal Beast...
They both charge. They can both just charge.
Yeah, they'll
What
charge
happens-
into you.
What happens if Spirit Breaker's charging and Primal Beast is they charge into each other?
We're gonna find out what happens when that indeed plays itself out. We're heading over to Cap, SPG, and Quinn for the
Mahihiyas
answer
naman.
to that.
Wala eh, kahit talo na ng ES.
Thank you, Sheever. That's right. We're
May
heading into
Oracle
game
eh.
2 here. Our panel is
Di
already
mababurst ang
stated,
PL basta-basta.
This is looking like a much better setup. Quinn, in fact, backstage was saying, yeah, this game actually looks playable. What changed in the draft that we feel so confident that OG is going to have a better time?
Game.
I think the lanes are much easier for
Game
OG to
two,
function.
game two, guys,
I think
game
whenever you
two.
look at the way the damage is dealt this game compared to the prior game,
OG
if
versus
anything, I'd say
Tundra,
is
game
more
two,
in terms
pre.
of this similar low damage types of thing. You have Shaker, you have Spirit Breaker, you have Potom, who without a really good start is not super high damage. Life Stealer. It's a lot of these sort of very mid-range
versus
damage heroes sort of go from the
Tundra.
front. You're against a Timber Saw, you're against an Oracle, Primal who's tankier than the Ember last game, PL who has very, very good scaling this game. I think there's a lot of dynamics that are nicer for OG this game.
Yeah, I think the two heroes that OG want going into the series, in a sense, are Pango, which is getting first phase ban. I don't think they're ever going to get it. And to me, the Timber. I think Timber is outside of the Tide.
Ganda ng pick ng Timber, pre, last pick.
Can have a really good early game and then beat that board.
Ganda ng last pick ng OG Timber,
What we saw
puta.
last game, which is Tundra going high ground at 20 minutes, right? Timbersaw thrives in that environment as long as he gets a good start. And
Ben,
we're looking at the
nasend
best
ko na, di ba?
Timbersaw player in the world right now.
Ben.
I've watched this guy all season long destroy people on Timbersaw.
Pero kasi Baratrom to, pre. Alam natin perwisyo yung Baratrom eh. Malay mo naman.
But if you looked at those last ban phase, go back 3 months, they banned Razor and Viper.
Malay mo,
last year
sobrang
when he
ganda
got
ng space
Timber.
mac rate ng
These were
Baratrom
the three
mamaya.
that were first phase banned, he always got one. So very much in a Mars comfort zone. Obviously, the hero's a bit different now, but my expectations are just as high.
Yeah, I mean, he's someone who understands the hero at such a level. His item build from game to game, you'll see it shift like
Yan.
crazy. One game, he'll go the classic.
baba na,
the
oyat, pre.
Kaisaj. The game against us, he had like a 4-staff, like Yules.
Pangit ang venue. Kaya nga ang late nga ng venue ngayon, pre.
No Kaya. Dude understands
Hindi,
the hero
ano,
really deeply.
I remember
Hindi
watching that game and
stadium.
thinking, like, I've never seen so much
Dati
utility
stadium
out of
talaga
it
eh.
before in my life.
Yeah, it was
Mas
very,
malaki pa
very
yung venue
super
nung
high.
nakaraang nag-champion yung Team Spirit eh.
Definitely going to be a
Yung walang
very
audience.
different change of pace. I'm also curious about this mid matchup. The panel discussed a little bit the Spear Breaker versus the Primal Beast. This matchup's very weird, right? Because you're, as I say that, and
Wow, first blood.
already off to a different pace.
Oh,
That
wait,
Timbersaw
nabigyan si
lane
Mirana.
getting damage done between the heavy nuke damage.
Nabigyan si
Snaking
Mirana,
pays the
boy,
price of
my
the Holland
boy.
Starstorm.
Yeah, it seems Snaking just really underestimated the firepower of this lane. That's very awkward. But yeah, back to I mean, we don't ever see this matchup. What is this?
I don't think anybody's
Wala
ever seen
kang
this
buhay ang
matchup.
puta.
Maybe
Quinn,
only
have you ever
nine.
played this one?
I've never played or
Kaya
seen this.
tayo
It
dito,
looks like
backline
it
ba?
might be Spirit Breaker favored.
Yeah, walk us through the details of this match.
Yeah, really get into the minutia.
So Unga Bunga. That's most of it. Yeah.
He's walking him down.
Oh, there it is. You said it. It's just who bigger, you know? Who bigger who?
He isn't
That's all it
yell.
And Primal, yeah, Primal Beast has got the uproar. He's the biggest yeller.
Oh, pinatay yung Baratrum.
Charged him aggressively to try and stop
Nangyari
him
dun.
CSing, and then he got yelled on. That might
Ang ginagawa ng Baratrum dun.
Because I think what should happen is both of the 70 damage Unga Bunga heroes should just like CS realistically for most of the lane, but I think he might have got a little too aggressive then.
Taiga. Sige, right-clickan kayo. Sige, arrow. Pag tumama yung pana, patay to.
Yeah, he's being
Mapana, pana.
by BC.
Ayaw.
I mean, it seems like you have to save this charge for the trample disconnect, you know? And that's on cooldown, and this matchup looks not that much fun. On top of that, this bulldoze working with how the Primal Beast ults worked isn't that great.
Laglag na. Oh, laglag na.
It's kind of a,
Nilaglag sila ng boom natin, nila teams.
I'm not sure if the planar pocket thing is still in there.
Ang ina Baratrum mid.
Ayun.
It just ends, right? Just, negate. So this is a very weird matchup on how the spells interact. I don't know. We might see some crazy stuff, but I'm a mid spear breaker. I mean, you can't not love it, right? Charge on charge.
We're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. That's for certain.
Visage, nagdelikado ha. Fissure.
Throw out the Fissure, they throw some damage back at Roggy. Roggy's okay. Man, he was really thinking he doesn't even have Phantom Rush.
Game 1, nanalo Tundra.
I mean, he might regret that.
Best of 3 to.
Pretty much zero mana. So
Di pa naman out yung Oja rito, pre. Pwede pa nilang ma-reverse sweep to.
No more kill potential with no more lances either, so he's going to be in CS and chill mode for the rest of this lane now with no mana, realistically.
That said, I feel like OG's a bit happier with CS and chill with the PL versus this as opposed to the Morph. Because the PL can actually hit the early Diffusal, Manta, Heart, whatever order you want to go to get those items, and suddenly
ulo mong go.
Visage team fight becomes a lot more normal.
Champ, ano masasabi mo, Champ? Sino mananalo dito, Champ? Sino
Take
mananalo?
up a lot of the early
Tundra.
attention spells and suddenly
Baratrum daw,
I feel like
Baratrum. Natawa siya eh.
Yeah, but I think you've also got a lot better ways
Natawa
to
siya
rebuff this
eh.
Visage.
Natawa ka, no? Natawa siya eh.
Killing him this game.
Hello.
Get a Primal gank the Visage.
Hello.
Once Peel gets this Diffu, Visage just can't just kick him out on his own. Like, Peel's gonna come in and say, yeah, come fight me. I'll burn all your mana. I'll kill you, you know? So I think Visage, this game compared to last game, it is not even close the same like level of terror.
I agree. You gonna arrow Timbersaw under his tower and dive him? That's a different story.
So it looks like OG CS-wise
Gago,
pretty
mali.
happy with all their
Putang ina.
lanes.
Patay na dapat to.
Bottom of the bunch really isn't that far behind. Seems like mid lane's going very well, which is a little surprising to me.
Ooh! Yatap Mirana, pre.
He just does not seem to match up well against this 4 Oracle. Misha getting a little bit low, but so is 33. Roggy.
Malaki kasi price pool last year. Kaya nga eh. Good morning, Boss Paldo. Oy, Earl! Uy, gogi. Ano nang nangyari sa Tundra? Nagwawala sila, pre. Medyo sloppy yung galaw ng Tundra, oh. 4-0 sila agad, 4 minutes into the game. Outdrop ba sila, pre? Outdrop ba?
Early magic damage trapped and come in. This time, I think their draft's a lot more well-rounded, and they're having a way better early game. Should bode very well for them.
That was not how I
charge beat Spearbreaker charge.
That was not how I thought that interaction was gonna go, and it makes me question. Like besides the plater pocket, like if the charge isn't gonna be working, then what? Maybe it's something about the
Tawa, patay. Bundol? Tanginang mid Baratrum. Parang ngayon ko lang nakita to ngayong TI dito ah.
So if you yell louder while you're charging,
it's like a DS.
Mid Baratrum, pre. Nakita nyo na ba to dati?
It gives you the charge advantage.
I mean, we have so many innovations in Dota. What's one more for this line of it, you know?
Some shenanigans going on.
I mean, 6 already on BZM.
This setup is pretty rough. Like, if he ever presses trample, 9 is just gonna lose like
Balibag.
a third of his HP, maybe half.
Nako, ES, delikado. Si Sasha. Fissure. Tumama naman, pre. Nabubuhay pa yata, ah. Okay, nabuhay pa.
Yeah, we saw the charge icon down there too. That was not
Kala ko.
That was 9 surviving.
Ibigyan na naman si Saksa eh.
Now having to walk back to base. BZM with the earlier level 6 just pulverizes him back to the fountain.
Tayo na, level 6 na yung ano, dog grip.
Again, 4 Oracle. OG's
level 6 na ang dog reptile. Level 6. Boom! Patay! Ako na talaga na itong ano na to eh.
Oh, nice. That was a good pickup. Primal Beast with the haste rune is, I mean, that hero already, I love
Darwisho talaga yung Primal Beast na yan eh.
So much impact. We start off with the Lance Chance qualifier. We watched Thompson play it, even to make it through that event, they still showed the strength of this mid-round piece.
Bag. Ang ina, binalibag lang oh, pinagtripan lang oh.
Is very, very strong. The kill 30 provides
Totem, tumama.
initiation. He can scale like crazy. He gives you a buttload of stuns
Hop,
as the game
stun.
progresses.
Babalibag pa to ha. Fissure. Ay, fissure totem.
Just non-stop fighting.
Misha, delikado. May fissure ba? Wala yata. Naka-charge! Naka-charge yung bot lane, pre. Ayan na! Ayan na! Bag! May ulti to, may ulti. May ulti. Bag! Woo! Okay na daw yun. Okay na daw yun, pre. Ba't binalik ko pala? Mali. Binalik ko.
Like, you know what, guys? Yeah, I'm gonna play the sacrificial role. I'm gonna play these healers and stuff, but I still want the last hits.
Snaking! Nako!
This right here is not what you want
Ala!
to see.
Oh, wait.
Stealer has been kicked out of his lane, and that is a worry.
Ginawa na snaking dun.
If you're ever on the team with lifesteal and he's getting forced to leave.
Nako! Patay si 9. Parang nararamdaman ko ng outdrop sila, pre ah.
Yeah, I mean, sort of the flip script from last game. You start to worry about Tundra's damage a little bit. Suddenly, the Shaker, Spear Breaker, Nakes together. Level 3 bottom, you're looking at, you know, Timbersaw and a Primal with an Oracle. You're wondering, I wonder if they're going to be able to kill these heroes as time progresses.
Pre, parang nararamdaman ko ng outdrop sila.
What is actually going to kill this guy? The Visage can't do much to him. The other heroes you said not doing much. Are they going to get a fast Vessel in this game? I don't even think they're going to get fast Urn.
Hop! Huli! Nakuha pa ni Taiga. Go, yun, may fissure. Buti na lang. Pwede pa to. Pwede pa to, pre. Ay, dito mama. Ayun, nandiyan yung Visage. May charge ha, bang. Bundol. Stamp. Stun. Follow up. Ulti. Dead.
Just 5 mana off that onslaught. No escape mechanism. That's a huge pickup for them. That is the one core they can try and abuse, because the Phantom Lancer, maybe you kill him once more or whatever, but he is going to escape to the jungle. You're not going to find him for a while. This Timbersaw is invincible.
Kaya pa to, pre.
You gotta try and abuse something on the
Pangit ang drop.
It's probably this BZM.
Hindi kaya pa to.
Use him with your charge. Charge him back. OG's gonna
Parang outdrop nga sila eh. Tignan mo, walang ginagawa yung Mirana. Patay to.
Once again trying to solo kill.
Oo, patay to. Patay. Boy, sabi ko na eh. Gamonte ka na, pre.
You could see Mara drawing circles there a second ago. Like, he's clearly a bit
Gamonte
frustrated.
ka na.
He's able to sit up here and stall. Like, the tower probably could have died maybe a minute and a half earlier, but the Palam's up there being annoying, dragging some waves. And the move Tundra made bottom earlier, where the Oracle TP, the Marcy TP's back down there, Primal TP, suddenly this bottom gets
Gamonte ka na, par.
just farming mid the whole time. You can see he got kicked out of the lane, but his net worth is not bad. It's considerably above the PL, so the move from Tundra bottom earlier having pretty big dividends for slowing down this Timber a little bit inadvertently.
And with the damage problems we outlined for Tundra, it feels like Mirana actually having levels could be really important.
Yeah, those levels
Boss pal, yung AXS gayahin daw pa rin yung ng SLP ang price tao mo. Ang ina, pre. Ang hirap ipagtanggol ng Axie. Alam nyo naman yan, pro Axie ako eh, pero... Ay! Di pa tumama! Di pa tumama yung pana.
Surprising amount of damage.
This is like last game, Amar moving down bottom to defend the tower against the 33 Visage push. Only now he can actually do it, right? Yeah. He is a much bigger boy with a lot more armor than that Sand King.
Ako! Ayun na, yung dog grip. Nako! Bag. Puta, pinagbabalibag. Nako!
Not up by a huge amount of net worth, but it does feel like they're kicking things into gear, and it's about to start snowballing against Tundra.
Oh yeah, they got all the levels in the world.
Dinunggol-dunggol, pre.
Last game, it was hard to get this Oracle in the game because their cores
were
behind. This game, BZM, they can use the Oracle early nuke damage to help them get these kills. OG has all the damage in the world on these early. They are also going to have double purge, right? You have Fortune's End, you have Timbersaw rushing Yules. It's another interaction that makes the game hard for 9.
Pero kung malaban pa sila, may kikig pa sila, pre, ha? Umuto ka, kumakaryo pa yung manok nila. Ano yun, throwback? Pero ang hirap ng Tundra eh. Kahit yung life stealer, hindi siya ganun ka-farm eh.
They do have Tundra They are gonna have to start making some moves, and
Ayun na.
Skeeter once again is gonna try
Bot
and
lane
get
sila
involved
papunta ha.
here.
Papatay ba nila
He's
to?
gonna go invest inside
Ay,
the
naku.
line. They're gonna try
Naku,
and
may
set this
respo.
up. Nine actually popping out of that
Andito si
smoke.
ano, Oracle,
Taiga's
pre.
already here as well. They're gonna start scouting things behind the tower. They're gonna go for Amar, but Taiga is behind him. They need to be able to address this Oracle and kill him quickly. They get that fast kill, and now Amar.
Patay Oracle.
Let's see if they can chase him down. Saksa was on the other side of things. He's gonna need to hit him.
Andyan na yung dog rep. Bubundol na yan.
Amar.
Grrrr.
The Moonlight Channel allows them to get on.
Ooh! Ang ganda ng... Uy, ang ganda! Nice! Yun pala ang gusto nila mangyari, pre. Ganun pala ang lineup ng ano, Tundra, par. Bundol-bundol, no?
Yeah, apparently so. I mean, I think
Bundol-bundol, pre.
TP bottom maybe looks a lot better than it actually was. I think if you compare it to
Bundol-bundol pala.
TP feels extremely powerful.
Yung pala ang nais, bundol-bundol. Okay.
The way this Timber is bottom, like it's not like Tundra's forced to go there. They're not getting squeezed elsewhere, you know. So he's sitting there and he's not really pressuring much. He's delaying the tower, so I'm sure. But at any point, Tundra has the map sources themselves. So they can make this move there, and it's a bit awkward for OG.
Yeah, they're trying to run it back and get the punish without the numbers. Double core commitment for OG.
Saksa trying to intercept. It was a good echo, but unfortunately, he just doesn't have the damage. Doesn't have the levels, no aftershock, or just level 1 rather. So he's probably going to get chased down as well, and Snaking just has to fully abandon this bottom lane. OG showing up in force.
I think that was the type of skirmish they were looking for, right? It has to connect between Amar and BZM, being those frontliners, getting in there, setting up the fight. Like you said, Skeeter does get to push this top lane all the way to the tier 1. He will enjoy this time, and he's catapulting up the net worth. Yuragi not far behind though. He got tier 1 mid during all that fighting. Pretty big objective for OG they got for free, and he's cruising as well. This is a pretty damn
Hindi.
Yeah, very scary.
Sa ano ako magbebet? Sa Boom, tsaka sa EG mamaya.
Having this bit of downtime, he can just ignore everything, pretend there are no other heroes.
Doon na tayo sa ano, support.
And he is just collecting the gold like it's his job.
Matag-iitim yung black screen.
Little bit of PvE action for him.
Carry players.
Bundol-bundol pala eh.
Okay, so we talked
Wala
about
tang Tundra number 1 pantay. Hindi ah. EG ako pre, tsaka Boom. EG Boom, tarat-tarat ako. EG Boom, tarat-tarat. Boom, tarat-tarat.
They both give you tools to help control the Lancer a little bit in the very late game. I think the
Saan ba natin bumunot? Pwede no, baka mabunot natin yung Void eh. Pwede. Baka mabunot yung Void. Bunutin mo yung Void. Void. Uy. Shield, pwede na.
With the Visage Birds coming in to help, can be a route they go. In terms of direct counters though, maybe you're gonna try and build some mail.
Diffusal na yung Lancer, pre!
You're gonna need a lot of small counters, but
pero nakita natin yung power ng lineup ng Tundra. So, wala pa silang item no. Tignan natin pag may item na sila. Bundol-bundol pala gusto nyo ha. Bubundulin din kayo niyang ano. Spirit Breaker. Smoke. Mirana. Mirana. Lako ka! Bubundol. Uy, crossover ka pa. Ang ilang yan.
Once again, Snaking's just going to the lanes that I think nobody else really wants to go to. And occasionally he'll tank a death or two, but he's just trying to get something out of this. 33. They want this. Oh, we're knocked to low ground.
Uy, sumubsob. Sumubsob si Marcy. Marcy, masyado ka na malalim, Marcy. Patay. Pwede pa yata silang umabol ha. Ay, nagamit yung charge sa Marcy. Normalin.
Not the place he wanted to be for certain.
I mean, there's a lot of hero displacement spells in this game.
Yeah, there is.
Like an acrobat session or something. People are going to be bounced around. I think.
Lakad matatag. Normalin.
He's actually going S&Y here. So he's going to build S&Y into Heart. That is going to be extremely hard for Tundra to deal with. Meanwhile,
Bubsob. Yung dog rep. Bag. Echo. Ay, sayang. Pero andyan na yung bulldozer. Patay si Misha. Naisalba pa, pre. Reset. Pwede pa sila mag-go ulit, ha. May charge pa to, ha. Magkakaroon ng charge, ha. Huli ka, Oracle. Ayun. Uy, ang ganda. Apat yun na bundol, pre. Ganda naman nun, par. Andyan na yung PL to the rescue. Gogi, nasagasaan, pre. 4. Blatter niya yan. Sagasaan kayo eh.
Ultimately not pulling the trigger.
What a sick fortune then by Taiga there. Catches them both, prevents the charge connection.
Blatter niya yan, pre.
And BZM is just
Uy. Hala. Grabe naman yun. Sinolo kill yung mid laner. Mamaw. Ayan na. Nako, ES. Nako. Didi yan. Mapapakita dyan. Balibag ka nyan.
You start looking at places where you can realistically get kills, and those places are few and far between. The biggest one being this bottom area, and OG is taking advantage and winning those fights. So where is Tundra going to open things up?
Mahirapan sila patayin yan mamaya kasi may Oracle eh. Boom or EG. Hindi naman sila magkalaban eh. Parehas sa parehas.
An item that can help them open up some of these areas, make it scarier for the PO to push deep.
Kasi inisipon pa ako eh. Sa kaubo eh. May chinarge, cameraman. Kailangan na makapag-dagger na itong ES. Dagger na yata, dagger na. Oh, dagger na pre.
Start stalling out the game any longer, we get to the point you were talking about, right? Where the Phantom Lancer is too tanky for them to deal with.
Yeah, it is very spooky. I mean, Avery talks about this Spearbreaker being able to pick people off a little more, but...
Grabbed. Skeeter does still have the rage. No infest, though, so he's going to have to back out. BZM realizing that he's actually still has some...
Ay, putang ina piso. Mali.
Tundra was smoking there.
Kala ko kasya kasi may dalawang bubble.
At that moment to take the fight, turn it around.
Uli! Nice! Patay nila yung dog rep! Susunod na tayo yung Marcy. Na-ultihan pa yung Marcy ha. Pero wala nang false promise. Pero ayan na yung pre. Skater, patay na ako. Yun! Lockdown! Nice one! Next. Pwede pa ba chase? Wala na.
Alright, Tundra striking back with this random river fight that just connected off the back of that smoke. BZM did not get BKB off or anything. That's a completely different fight if it goes the other way. Moonlight Shadow. This spell, it works at TI for a reason. Snaking, busting it out, doing a huge...
Kaya pala nila patayin yung PL eh. Sabagay, wala pa bang pakunat na item yung PL pre. Tignan natin mamaya. Wala pang pakunat na item PL eh.
Yeah, he might need a plate map.
Malambot pa yung PL na yan eh.
To come in late and not be the one getting beat on by this Nags. I mean, this whole fighting situation here, I think, maybe there's an element of people who played at TI several times versus some new players. I think BZM, not getting the BKB off and being slightly out of range with the Oracle.
Kailangan yata nila na-yules pa. Pero hindi, Boyto. Boyto. Ay, puta, andyan pala yung Marcy. Hindi pa nag-leap.
Not able to get that second leaf off in time, Misha. Grabs him, stuns him, and brings him down to the grave with Lamar picking up the kill.
Hindi nag-leap.
That's it. I think OG, they are playing this game very fast, and they have a lot of wiggle room.
Wait.
Yeah, like Tundra needs a lot more of those fights before I think they feel very confident going into this late game. And again, this is OG's playbook, right? You have the Amar damage dealing offlaner. You have this tricore with the power of the sustain behind it. This is a scary lineup to scale into. This Primal Beast can also scale like a monster. I mean, you're talking about Ags, Shivas, Shard down the road. This hero's spooky. So, you have to worry about this PL timings if you're Tundra, but you also
Didi na naman pre. Nako. Delikado. Best of 3. Best of 3. 1-0 na sa Tundra. Pag natalo pa OG rito, laglag sila sa lower bracket. Upper bracket to eh. Sino ka-charge? Bag! Ang ganda ng cancel ng familiars. Andiyan na yung bulldozer na isa. Kala mo ikaw lang may bulldozer. Ba? Ang tapang nung live stealer oh. Araw, walang tinamaan, bumundol. Nakita niya ES eh. Ang ganda ng fissure, patay na naman yung dog grip. Gaging, galing nila makontrol yung dog grip pre. Hindi basta-basta nakakapag
playing together, went back to 33, made sure the Phantom Lancer wasn't a problem. Now they're going to try and chase down some more heroes.
Arrow, nice one. Bundol, nice one. Beautiful. Beautiful dots, pre.
And he is just the +1 after every lost team fight.
Ang ganda ng ginagawa ng Tundra. Galing.
not getting the BKB off, not getting the DD off, maybe feeling a bit antsy, feeling like, man, we're so strong, I want to fight Tundra. They're like just out of the reach. You know, he tries for this charge, but he reaches a bit too far, getting a little bit too thirsty for that fight, and it's a big kill. I mean, like Avery said, they need a lot of these. Like, Tundra keeps winning these small fights, and it feels nice, but it's not like a game-ending thing, you know? But at some point, they add a bit too much, and maybe the pendulum swings back into Tundra's favor.
Yeah, every one of these little skirmishes you lose, you're putting your PL timing back
Up.
Right? Yeah, that's the timing that you
lang,
want to
charot
hit
lang.
and get the Roshan. And get
Charot
the
lang daw.
going. That timing's a little worse every one of these skirmishes he loses, and also for BZM.
Yeah, I can.
Ano pa ako?
He wants to charge.
Bundol?
How many can fight?
Ayun, kanina to eh. Ba't replay?
Can you heal?
Ha?
Shake us up. I don't like, please, I don't like, shakes too much.
Nangyari? Ba't pinapakita yung replay?
The call for the Yules there. I mean,
Yung ginagawa nitong cameraman na to, pre.
That would have been such a massive difference, but
I think a pretty good sign they were able to call that off.
Shit.
I think sometimes when your core players maybe they're a bit nervous, they can get roped into some stuff, and him saying, no, I don't like this, I'm not doing this, I'm gonna die. Like, I think having that awareness and not getting, you know, pulled into something you don't like, I think is very clutch.
oh, this could be deadly.
Next bara, no?
The blink reveal, he's gonna go.
Mamaya mag-gainfest yung lifesteal. Ay, naku, nagda-Roshan. Pero may echo, pre, ha? May echo sila. Bang! Ubus! Sakto pa araw, pre. Ganda ng echo, pero nakapag-BKB. Roshan fight to, pare, ha? Roshan, kayo mapupunta Aegis. Naku, napunta pa sa Dog Reptile. Late kasi dumating yung Baratrom, eh. Late kasi yung Baratrom dumating.
33 gonna be chased down by Big bad primal beast slows him down, and they're gonna just keep the vision. 33 has no way out of this one, I think. Slowly but surely, they're gonna catch up to him. They're gonna work him down, and that is going to be 3 heroes dying, and the Aegis picked up for OG. What a turn that could have been if only Tundra had been there with more heroes. Saksa hit the entry, but there was no follow-up.
Huge amount of damage on that jump. That's the power of the Oracle, though. Keeps those cores alive, and more importantly, it's not BZM going down first. Means he gets free spells, free BKB this time, no misclicks or any bad clicks that fight. Gets the Aegis as well.
Kala ko gabulin. Mayulis eh.
The zoomer hands come in handy. It's crazy how much impact these fights where everyone is just clicking Roche and somebody clicks it first. Like, it has such a giant impact on the game. Maybe if Nakes takes that, the fight swings the other way. But you know, now suddenly Tundra's sort of in that position where they really don't want to take that fight.
Shout out to BZM for that positioning there. Him being able to charge back in was super important.
Even Misha is just staying alive in these fights for a huge amount of time. There's a lot of sustain on this.
Sayang, late kasi dumating yung Baratrom eh. Ganda sana nun eh, kung may follow pag agad ng Baratrom eh. Ganda sana, pre.
Gives PL the turn. Aegis helps these fights stay even longer. Tundra need to think about who they're prioritizing these fights, who they're jumping, who they're going on, syncing the damage up with the stuns.
Tumataba na yung PL.
Right? You don't want to get caught in a
Nahihirapan sila i-clear yung mga illusion mamaya.
without the control online. Maybe the one upside is Aegis is not on that Phantom Lancer. Yeah. The sieging is a bit worse from OG, but that said, I don't think Yuragi's too scared.
Nahihirapan sila i-clear yung mga illusion. Arrow? May Aegis to, ah. Ang daming salba. May balibag pa sa Marcy. Fissure? Ganda! Ang ganda, pre, ulit! Yan, ganyan dapat. Kasama na yung guys, Arrow. Ako, pwede pa to, ha. Pwede pa to, pre, ha. Pwede pa nila i-convert to sa PL, ha. Kaso malinang na charge. Malinang na charge. Bundol, bog. Sa pool na naman yung 4. Putang inang yan. Sabay TP out. Amat.
What a disaster of a push. What a charge angle from 9.
How did he get that?
He was just an enemy jungle farming after the Lost Roche fight. Just comes in from behind. He had the charge on the Primal Beast you showed. Ends up catching the Oracle with the Infest. Don't mind if I do right there, sir.
I charge in both lane.
Really good game. I think keeping up this level of
Old but bold.
especially after such a rough
Ang ina, Dota 1 days, no? Baratrom nice.
10,000 net worth, having this
Pre, sakay ka, pre.
continuing the scaling is really
Sakay ka, pre. Angkas.
continued scaling, but
Pre, angkas ka, pre.
it's so important for their heroes that he's able to have this
Sa
network.
PL ako kinakabahan eh. Pag makunat na tong PL, ewan ko kung paano nila i-clear.
Snowballs in that regard, right? right? If you get to the Shadow Blade, Aghanim Scepter and such, and you one-shot waves, then you just continue to build up on those items. But if you don't get to that point, you just become another support, perhaps. Uh-oh. He's gonna maybe have to blow
sure?
Nope,
Ang ganda lagi na... Uy! Uy! Gagi! Ginagawa ni Yuragi dun, pre. Bag! Pwede pa ha, pwede pa to ha. Ooh! Nabagsakan pa ng familiar. Patay ito, araw. Hindi na kailangan. Hop!
Really good save. I mean, Skeeter jumping inside of him enabled that in the first place, but 9 being able to find the right hero to charge every time.
And that's a sign of a Visage play right there, too. It didn't even look like the bird was even close, but he knows the range of the drop, so
Piso, puta.
barely clips him on the edge. Getting that +1 kill, like, that's the top net worth Timber saw. The amount of gold you get from that, the amount of time this guy's dead. Now, suddenly, they take over the map. The Spearberg gets more items. Nakes finishes off the Mjolnir, which has a really large impact dealing with this PL. And PL doesn't even have heart yet.
Ang ina.
I feel like OG
Ang
wanted to
barda
use that
Pilipino.
to that PL.
Gago naman wala po kumikikig sila, no? Pero late game kasi alam ko wala silang pang late game eh. Ayan, kaya mag-Mjolnir yung ano, Naix. Pang clear ng wave ng illusion.
There's a fissure follow-up, an aftershock follow-up on that. It's so much AoE control. There's not much spell immunity on this OG side. They just got that BKB on Amar.
Pero ewan kung kaya nila yan, pre.
But the rest of these OG heroes, they're still trying to get there. I mean, Misha's trying to get to his own.
I almost feel like there's a little bit of a displacement between
Bundol.
the Yuragi and where his items are at and how he's playing. I feel like if he has the heart, he can be like
Sakit pa rin ng ano, Visage, pre.
Without that, it's
Visage
just so
nagdadala dito eh.
they've been able to, like, as you say, charge through and just a lot of, like, incidental damage brings him down to like half health.
I mean, it's also about how OG wants to start the fights. It's a bit awkward for OG to find the opening. Yeah. You have this Shadowblade breaker charging around the map. Everybody's Moonlight shadowed, like haste rune drummed around the back line.
Ilang
You're not gonna
yan.
find the Shaker. He has 4 stack.
Ilang yan.
You want to just go on the Visage? It's pretty awkward, right? Even the Nace.
Nako, na-yules ka, pre. Babay ka na.
These heroes.
Andiyan na yung Marcy. Ayaw mo pa umuwi. Butang, ano, nabuhay pa.
Before Nisha is able to put a stop to him. We have the Aghanim Scepter now done on the Visage, so big damage upgrade. We said damage was a problem for Tundra, and that is a huge upgrade right there. BZM, though, does now have his own Aghanim Scepter, so look out for that one, and the break mechanic, too.
Charge.
They're sneaking.
BKB? Nag-force ng BKB ha. Pwede sila mag-out muna dito, pre. Out muna, BKB. BKB, out muna tayo.
Feel pretty good about it.
I mean, this is a dynamic. We didn't really talk about that much, but while Dire may have had some damage issues earlier in the game, they have no issues of stuns. OG really not.
BKB na rin yung bara, bro. Going for Aghanim. Ayan na. Umukunat na yung PL, pre. Naka-heart na.
15 angles, 12 stuns, like they're coming from all different places. And if
kunat na yan.
Invincible, at some point it's a little bit spooky for OG to actually start the fight, like Avery was saying.
Up! Clash to! Nakita nila yung PL! Gago! Ay, nakita nila yung ES. Nakatakbo pa, gagi. Babalik tong ES ha, may echo pa to ha. Up! Naku, nakabutan nila yung PL. P-sure. Ganda. May echo pa, pre ha. May echo pa ha. Pero na-yules na, patay na yung ES. Uy, gago, nag-echo.
And now the rest of the team starts funneling in. They weren't able to get that change done. Visage needs to get out as well. Fortunately, that Aghanim Scepter allowing him to fly away. He's keeping on top of Yuragi, while Amar did find a little cubbyhole to be able to TP out. So both the sidelines are going to be able to retreat and reset. But Tundra, once again, walking away the victors of the team fights. When was the last time OG won a fight?
When was the last time they killed a good target? I mean, we're talking about fights. It's just so hard to latch on to any of these heroes for OG. I mean, the stuns are pretty much on BZM to lock somebody down so Amar can get the damage out. They're surviving for a decent amount of time, but that is the best target they can get in these fights. Find the Shaker on the back.
Pero umuunat na yung ano eh.
So much control. He gets the force out and he's living. Now all of a sudden this fight is super weird, right? There's going to be more fissures coming in. You have to kind of try and fight around your Phantom Lancer, but
umuunat na yung ano, par.
I mean,
yung PL, nahihirapan na sila patayin yung PL.
Didn't pop the BKB right away. He got hit by the
kahit pa paano, nahihirapan na sila eh.
A little bit costly.
And that
PL pa lang yan ha, hindi pa yung ano ha. Team Verso ha.
paano pagpatay yung Team Verso pa? Some birds invis drops on your head. I feel
Arrow
for him.
hitting all the clutter.
Yeah, there's a random arrow in here, you know? Not an easy game.
I mean, it's also a game where this PL here, he's not really able to solo kill people because there are so many stuns on Dire. There's so much kiting, the force staff, the invis, all this garbage.
Another infest charge.
Oh, they found the Oracle. They had the vision. They get the charge, and they also hit.
Uli Oracle. Patay Marcy agad. -1. Pinagbabalibag yung Mirana. Fissure. Tumama sa dalawa. Another lockdown. Buyback Oracle.
The other completely stalled out any damage he could get down during that time. Tundra is going to respect OG here. They should. A buyback went out from the Oracle.
Ang gulo ng lineup ng TUNDRA, pre. Napaka-chaotic.
How can OG supports play? Like, you can see
Talagang bakbakan.
OG has no way to actually kill heroes unless Tundra messes up some. They're spacing them, they're using the stun, the invis, the force staffs. Like, Yoragi is desperately looking for a target to lock onto, but he's just getting kited and the supports are just getting exploded instantly.
Yeah, it really does. Maybe this, we talked about the drafting and their plan for 9. I mean, both times they drafted a hero that gets to the backline. We said,
Bakan kung bakbakan.
setup here.
Ayun na, aganims na yung Baratrop. Puta. Maliit na yung cooldown ng charge. Tapos mabilis na patuli na to, pre. Patay na.
Taiga over and over again.
And now if he dies again, that's that buyback cooldown as well. They're out for a long time. It's just hard to protect this backline for OG. There's so many ways to get in there. The burst can give vision invis, you get the charge with the infest. What actually prevents that? You need detection down and you need to use this guy. He could be a BK beat as well. I feel like OG needs to get the 2 big items in this game. It's got to be Abyssal on the Phantom Lancer and Hex on Timber. That is a very far way away. If they get there, I think now you have the disable.
Is there anything else besides items? Is there a way they can set up the fight? I mean,
find the supports.
Smoke, pareho. Uy! Nabundol na naman nila si Marcy. Alay na naman si Misha.
There's Tundra once again. Really abusing this Moonlight Shadow. I mean, Smarana as a fight position seems
Ares.
value at this point.
Sakto pa yung Roshan, pre. Kukontest kaya ng OG to. Mahihirapan sila mag-contest dito. Kulang sila eh. Hindi yata nila i-contest. Bibigay nila.
This is not a 4 and 5 duo that wants the front line to play in a sentry or something. Like, you just instantly die.
The core's got to do it because they're the ones who are up in front.
Yeah, and we actually saw OG had a gem earlier in this game. That's why they got it. Because they knew they needed this vision on the front line. Yeah. That was lost a long time ago. Taiga's gem.
Hindi nila kinontas, binigay nila pare.
Decent amount of time now. Not easy to take these fights vision-wise.
Ano ba to?
Looking for the pincer maneuver here.
Charge of Darkness. 7 seconds cooldown. Ah, uy! Di tumama yung araw. Pero may fissure pa. Ayan, fissure. Totem.
33 in the back.
Sayang. Uy, sino yun nasa likod? Visage? Bundol? May echo. Echo, pre. Ang ganda ng echo na ito, pre. Pre, naramdam ako na echo, pre. Pre, ramdam ko echo. BKB. Fissure sa PL. Tumama. May echo pa, ha? Ang ganda ng lockdown nila, par. Beautiful dose. Yung ginagawa ng, TUNDRA. Beautiful dots, beautiful. Galing, ang galing ng TUNDRA, par. Grabe. Ang init ng TUNDRA maglaro, ah. Uy, rekta. Seryoso ba, rekta? Rekta agad. Buyback.
The double chakrams are going to be thrown out. This could be really messy. This could be, you have a serious lead here. You don't necessarily need to do this.
If PL has to buy back hero, it would be a disaster for OG's item progression.
Let's see if they can hold. The double chakrams doing so much damage. This buyout of the Aghanim Scepter, it may just be what
Uy,
out
gago, tinroon nga, pre. Uy, patay. Uy, Aegis pa, ha. Pero kumakate na yung PL. ES na huli. BKB? Wala man lang sila nakuha. Parang mali yung ginawa ng TUNDRA, pre. May rage pa to, ha. Ay, hindi nakapag-rage agad. Bagal ang kamay.
Run down by the Phantom Rush. A chance of revenge. A charge away just in time. The last bit of damage wasn't there quite yet. Tundra still a massive lead. Don't get
Yun lang, pre.
Surely they would have felt
Bakit ganun? Parang mali yung call nila dun, ha. Wala man lang silang nakuwang rocks.
And that is one of those calls at TI. It's like, it's a nice edge call if it's worth it or not.
Mainit yung call nila, pre. Parang mali yung objective-wise, mali yung call nila. Wala silang nakuwang objective. Hindi sila nakakuha ng rocks, di nila nabasag yung throne.
for that, but
It's so hard
definitely feel good here, OG.
for how we need to play. We need stunts. We need stunts. We need to farm text. I don't reach. It's not about text only.
Oh, you're totally right, Avery. Stuns, big problem for OG.
Yeah, they need this Hex, they need the Abyssal. The Abyssal's just off the menu now, man. I mean, this PL is never going to get there. So even more falls to Amar. That Axe purchase was pretty clutch. Helps him defend the throne there.
No way.
He's on his way to Hex. But
Nakita na lang PL.
OG
Pero patay
trying
pa
to
yung
use this
ano.
Lifestealer downtime as much as possible to get to that condition.
I thought maybe 9.
So, yung wala sila nakuha objective. Naging grade sila pre ha. Grade is good. Grade is good naman, pero...
This game's on a bar. Yeah. Like, this Axe, the double chakram, has to connect with the Shaker, with the...
BKB na rin Marcy pre, nabadrip na yung Marcy. Lagi daw siya namamatay, wala siyang BKB.
If you're gonna bet on one Timbersaw in the world to do it, it's probably this guy.
Yeah, they need some like sneaky wards that Tundra like walks onto. They have some ward hidden in the corner, and suddenly Tundra's on vision, and Amar gets this blink angle where he double chakras the guy and insta-kibs the Shaker before he has time to react.
I mean, the Marcy rebound huge as well. Like that fight, Misha connects with 2 or 3. That's their best stunt, right? That's gonna set up the Primal Beast engage. It's gonna set up the Timbersaw damage. A lot of this game might be coming.
Pero aware silang lamang sila eh.
Yeah, some of these earlier fights, just the charge throughs and the chain stunning that can come out. If you're on the retreat from OG, you are not getting out for this one.
Well, all eyes then on the Misha-Amar duo. See if they can get the combination of the right initiating stun and the damage to follow it up to win a fight for OG. This is a great opportunity.
Eva LB buff.
The snaking kill, maybe not so much, but the
Ayun na!
slip away. Now the charge on through, they couldn't even kill the pot up.
Patay, Marcy.
Now dead. Amar's looking for something
Next.
behind, but look at
Op!
this, playing
Nabash
game.
agad!
He's ready to go.
Nabash agad ang Dog Reptile! Andyan ang Echo Slam! Echo Slam! Ulo! Gagi yung PL pre, kaya nila patayin par! Echo Bag! Natotem pa, patay na tong PL. Patay na yung PL. Patay na yan. GG! Holy shit! Ang init ng Tundra par!
Over OG. They've done it again. They set themselves
Init ng Tundra, ang init.
able to match up against their rivals within the Western European region. They said, we are good enough to take you. They have lost some series before, but the important ones
Snaking, oh. Laki ng katawan, oh.
They did it again on the most important stage of all here at TI.
You know, 4 years ago,
Ang pangit ng setup ng TI ngayon, pre.
and that team had a choice between
Parang
OG and
tinipid.
LGD, and we chose OG, and it did not end well. This time around, the Dark Pact, or whatever you want to call it, has been broken to a degree, and he's able to overcome some of these past demons. It's very cool to see these storylines. I think OG put up a hell of a fight in that game too, though. Not an easy
Ganda ng
game.
laban, par.
All of us underestimated how tough that game was going to get.
Dota 1
in the mid-game.
days home,
Maybe
same.
a little bit.
Charge mo, pre. Angkas ako.
Stuns start coming out. What a hell of a game from 9 on the Spear Breaker.
Yeah, 9 and Skitter both, honestly, just super high impact in this game. I mean, you talk about Skitter's laning in Nix against a Timbersaw, and he's like top net worth. He's highest damage. We expect low damage from suddenly just killing everyone. I think Skitter had like an insanely good game.
Great
Talo na.
performances all around.
Kaya nga eh.
Team Tundra.
Oh,
And,
gagi no, ang taas yata ng winning rate ng ano, Visage. Parang pag may Visage ka, halos auto-win. Binibait ata, BB, tas biglang pinilit. Next game, ano nga yung next game? Wait lang. Ang next game ay... Hing lang natin ha.
OG had a way better shot at the game compared to that first game.
Most definitely. I mean, looking at the last pick, it was Amar's Timbersaw as their last pick, and I'm pretty sure that Tundra knew it was coming. You know, that's the one hero that always comes to your mind when you're thinking about OG, and they did have counters. Like in the laning stage, it wasn't that good because, you know, Timbersaw did manage to push out Lifestealer out of the lane, but in the mid game, I think we gotta give credit to 9. His Spirit Breaker being able to isolate the hero. How many times we've seen them stun lock this Primal Beast?
Grabe no, pre. Grabe yung pressure ng PL sa PL. Actually, bundol lang talaga ng bundol yung ano, Baratrum. Tangina, Baratrum mid. Gago, what a meta. Liquid tsaka Aster. Ito maganda to, pre. Liquid Aster.
That was a really great game. and hats off to Tundra because it was looking really hard for them, wasn't it? Especially in the first 30 minutes when everything seemed to be going OG's way. But once Tundra were able to hit their stride, get a couple of items on the Lifestealer, and enough on the Spirit Breaker to run around with that Aghanim's, they were just infest bombing all over the place, and they completely out-tempoed OG. I mean, it was just so difficult to watch, but I really have to praise them for bringing it back to the Spirit Breaker. Jenkins, you were telling me.
Galing, ganda, ang galing ng ano? Tundra, lakas.
To go back to what their comfort is.
Lakas, ang lakas.
I think they prepared very nicely for the Oracle that was going to come out from OG, and they were thinking, you know, we enjoy playing the Spirit Breaker. Maybe it's not the best.
Spoiler kayo, ha?
It looked like an amazing.
Spoiler alert!
I really like what Quinn said during the game. He said that 9 is just kind of silently carrying the game. We're like, yeah, sure, he's not doing the craziest amount of damage or something because he's an SB. But in every single fight, he was on the right hero. He was finding the pickoffs on Yuragi as well on a PL, which is not the easiest thing to do. Very patient with his charges. The players played very well, but I do want to say that I think Aoi has this idea against Timbersaw that allowed it to go all the way through the draft and be countered, and it's very simple. You just ignore him. You just don't go to the Timbers lane. Skitter went mid on Lifestealer, completely dodging the lane, and they just ignored him in fights and waited until the point where they could kill him before they tried to kill him. They didn't fall into this trap that other teams fall into, which is trying to kill the Timber.
Yep, they made sure that they were able to deal with that for sure. During that game, you also might have at some point caught some team fights here and there. We're trying to get the true sight feel during TI, and we got another clip for you here as we listen to
Kaya nga, no? Ang lakas ng Tundra, pre. Ang lakas ng Tundra. Ng Thunder Awaken. Daming underdog.
Yeah, I can't. He wants to charge. I'm going. Hammer, you can fight. Go. I'm carrying.
Daming underdog ngayon. Lakas, ang lakas. Ang galing ng ang ganda ng pick ng Bara to mid. Sobrang boset.
I don't touch, it's too much. I die.
Lower bracket na sila, oo.
To me, it's very impressive to know that during a fight, there's 5 players, everybody's pressing their own buttons, having their own thoughts about everything that's going on, and for me as a viewer, it's always fairly hectic, and then the comms are calm. There's like 2 people talking. Everybody's just doing what they're supposed to.
That's what it has to be. Like that's always the thing is you think that there's
Oo nga pala no. Sabi nga daw nung player nung player ano yun? Rinig nga daw yung mga caster ng mga player pag nag-i-smoke daw kung ano yung rune. Basta naririnig yung mga caster, puta ba? Dapat soundproof ginawa nila eh. Ewan ko bakit hindi soundproof ngayon.
But I'm gonna die if I dive. Okay, everybody leaves, right?
Tumbling natin to, tumbling.
Yeah,
it's important. And everybody trusting that when Amar says not going in, everybody
enter na lang tayo rito, pre.
No, everybody just goes back.
Yeah, they trust them exactly.
Dapat soundproof. Ewan ko bakit hindi soundproof ginawa nila ngayon. Parang nabaliw yung TI ngayon. Iba ba yung ano ngayon? Parang organizer?
Thank you so much. I am so impressed with the consistency of this team. You had a strong DPC season. You did not lose a single series in group stage. You either tied or won, and now you've 2-0'd OG, another strong team. I read that you have said this is the best boot camp you've ever done. How much of a difference has the mental preparation made in all of this?
I think we've always been a very strong team, and I think our biggest challenge was our own mentality, and like losing games and be able to recover from it was something that our team was not very good at. Myself included, who's the veteran in this game, it can be really tough, especially when the mood is down and no one's able to pick it up. That is something that I've been looking into helping the team, and that's why we also have a psychologist who's also been helping us with that, and I think it has really helped us a lot and turned the ship around.
Aster or Liquid are next. Any preference?
I mean, of course I want to say Europe, but I got to cheer for Aster because I want at least one Chinese team to be top 6 guaranteed, you know?
Okay, wait a minute. Aren't you going to play the winner of Aster or Liquid?
Yeah, I would enjoy playing versus China. It's a better headline.
Okay. You're speaking my language, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Chuchu meta.
All right, thank you very much, Casey and Snaking, and very nice to hear that the team has evolved. Therefore, Tundra, Major, they did indeed have troubles coming back from a loss, as we saw then.
But they laban ko dito, pre.
During this CI in the right time as well. Now top 6 guaranteed, and we're going to find out who their opponents are going to be. Team Liquid will be facing Team Aster. It will be our final first round of the upper bracket. Let's bring on Team Liquid upstage first.
Eto na, Liquid Aster. Go, matumba man! Let's go!
From last chance qualifier, so many games needed to be played to get to this very
Matumba man, oh. Parang ano eh.
for Team Liquid here.
Parang sobrang tandaan na eh. Ayaw na matumba man to. Parang alam mo, tandaan na. Boboka. Ori. Monet.
Team Aster.
Team Aster coming fourth in their group. Of course, having some ups and downs during that, but when it counts, they do show up. At the moment, they are the last remaining Chinese team in the upper bracket, and so there is a lot of pressure on their shoulders. They're no stranger to
Mainit to Mainit na laban to, pre Pangit kasi ng hindi mababa yan. Pangit ang battle pass kasi, di ba? Counter yung bara sa dinosaur, boss. Good luck, Aster. Ano tayo rito, guys? Liquid tayo dito, Liquid.
2015, something silly in the same team every step of the way.
1,600 games almost, and 57% win rate between those two. They are the greatest bubbies in Dota history.
Speaking of bubbies, there's yours.
Yeah, he's actually, of course, did steal my name, which I had to change it back to Jenkins. But yeah, these two, bubbyism goes beyond any sort of other relationship you can have.
Let's go, Liquid.
Together, which is why they've refused to leave each other's side. They're even beating Fly and No Tail.
Liquid tayo dito, Liquid
in terms of the amount of games that they've played together, Y and Faith Beyond, like all of these legendary duos that you can come up with. These two have played more than them, and it shows. It shows in their play and their synergy.
Andito si Zay. Nawala sa secret eh. Nag-compliment kasi sa resolution eh.
In my opinion, this guy is arguably the best broodmothers in the world. I think he's the best. I'm a fan, so I'm biased, but he's definitely one of the best.
Sana sa likod ka tumama. Sana sa likod.
Online, something that they didn't do for quite some time, missing out on the first, which was regional finals, second major as well, unfortunately, but then getting the third place at the Arlington major.
Sa mga wala pang followers badge dyan, guys, type nyo exclamation notify.
You know that this team is very hungry to prove that they're the best. Like, first of all, I think they want to prove that they're the best Chinese team, because we're always in the shadow of PSG, LGD, sometimes even RNG, and they have a lot of things to prove here.
But I just have to say, I love this matchup of Aster versus Liquid, because a lot of people well, it depends on which region you cheer for, but basically Aster are the Chinese Liquid, or you could say
ano kaya to? Itong sa kaliwa, oh.
Both of these teams have a history of completely
ito may event na guys, event to. Ano to?
Topping their DPC tours, but then choking.
The Aster curse.
Yes, choking at LAN. But recently, Aster seem to have shaken off that curse entirely, because they've gone from third place to second place at the last 2 LANs that they played, and now we just have to see if they're going to carry that momentum, and it really looks like they are. Liquid, on the other hand, they've also had the same issue of not exactly playing that well. during LAN events, but now that they're on
they've
this
broken it.
stage-
They've broken it in this tournament.
Ever since Matu said that this is going to be his last tournament, it's like, oh yeah, we don't have much time to play with him. Let's do our best.
And let's extend that as long as possible, for sure. And for Aster as well, I believe they even commented on the fact that they were not consistent in the international scene itself.
Okay,
They
share na
commented
natin
that they
stream.
do feel better this year, that they worked on that, and all of a sudden they come in the top echelon of every LAN they attend. So it's very interesting to see what they can do here.
So for me, this matchup is just who broke the curse in a more powerful and convincing fashion. We're about to see. But the funny thing about Aster is in China, they are referred to as the T team, right? And initially, we were told that it's because if you say Team Aster, Team Aster, that's what it is. But no, it's a meme from the Chinese fans who basically say Aster got a LAN, they have to go home early and just drink tea while they're watching Dota games because they get eliminated. So they're definitely not the T team anymore.
No, for sure. And you are very correct that Team Liquid indeed has also struggled quite a bit. Yes, this is the tournament that they've broken that curse, but now
Game.
crowd. So Jenkins, we don't know
Let's
yet
go,
how
Liquid.
much of that curse is broken.
Let's
until-
go, Liquid.
until this point, right? Because how much experience do they have with this
Bakit rin
fight
siya kalaban?
actually in front of a crowd?
Yeah, so for Mickey, Boxy, and Insania, this is their second TI. They unfortunately missed the last one, but they've got some Jarex, Zai, Matamba. They've played a lot. They have the experience. Hopefully they can do it.
Hopefully they can do it.
Let's go, Liquid.
Play itself out together with our draft.
Let's go, Liquid.
Team Liquid versus
Kaya nga may bagong post sa Axie, pre. Ano kaya yun?
Game 1.
Welcome. We are here. We are taking a look at the continuation of the upper bracket. Aster facing off against Liquid. I'm joined with two wonderful people here to break down the panel. Trent, Gunnar, how you guys feeling about this matchup? I think a lot of teams might not expect these ones here, but they're killing it. After group stage, they were able to make it happen.
Yeah, Liquid's look really good in groups. They've dropped a couple games, but they also took games off EG, when they were looking really good. And they've just been looking good. They look better every day, even since last rounds.
They're a team that likes to really build up that fan base and that hope. You know, I feel like everyone gets really excited. There's a lot of that Liquid fan.
Let's go, Liquid! Ano yung bagong post ang Axie sa
Much
YouTube?
like, the Aster org, the Liquid org, similar sort of stories in the past couple of years, trying to make it happen on LAN. So this is their chance. Right out of the groups, then to the big stage. Time to win some games.
We'll see if they can make it happen. And of course, the panel went over so many of these different storylines that we've got to keep our eyes on. For Matamba, his last TI here is what he's been saying. For Aster, they're trying to sort of pick up from the pieces of last year. That this organization, they also have these players that were getting so close, top 6, top 4 respectively on their previous teams, and now looking to go even further here. We'll see if they can make it happen. Draft things that you're interested in seeing early on. Morphling, Shadow.
Let's go, Liquid!
What's happened? A rough day yesterday?
Yung event, eto nga hindi
Still
ko
100% win rate on the hero during the tournament.
A lot of those record streaks are getting broken on the stage, though.
A lot of things are being broken on this stage.
Yeah. A lot of brackets, mostly, I think.
The length of the games. Crazy ones. I think probably it's going to be more of a Liquid. They have the Lundru. They have a lot of special teams.
May event, guys!
Hello, Lundru. They play Primal Beast. They play Shadow Fiend.
They both play Brood.
Yeah, they kind of have to deal with the Liquid on the side of Aster, whereas Liquid can focus on their own game.
CP.
Well, you saw in the pictures there as well, of course. Former
110 CP. Ano to mga to?
There, Blitz, he's up there. He's grinding a lot of drafts, getting ready for this. Of course, had some discussions with him about that. It's just
ano meron? Ang rewards endless, anger rewards yung 2 to 10, 4K.
These teams, I'm sure Aster did the same thing, right? They're spending just like hours.
Tangina kung ano ginagawa na nilang event, no? Sige ba panoorin natin? Huwag na. Panood na lang tayo Dota.
And you already see some of that reserve time being used, though, right? Like, even though it's just a couple seconds, there's so many variables that can come into play here just at the beginning of the draft.
Yeah, you kind of see if someone bans something you weren't expecting the ban, you don't know what to do. I think the bans are...
Noorin pa ba natin? Huwag na, no?
In the pool.
Hindi, mamaya ako magbibet sa EG tsaka boom. EG boom tayo.
This is the thing, right? We saw the series today.
Pero kung magbibet ako rito, Liquid ako dito, par. Game 1 Liquid. Game 2 Aster, Game 3 Liquid. Game, ano to? Game 3 siguro to. Pero wala pa nang nangyayaring game 3 sa upper bracket eh.
Getting that shard with Warcry, what the support
Utang
can
niya,
do.
talo ko.
What are we seeing with the last track pick with it that we like?
I think yesterday EG was doing Sven Shadowfiend the first phase. I think this is kind of the evolution where Lush is replacing the Shadowfiend for this.
Ano to, pre? Teka nga, panoorin natin to.
Is Barbecue, formerly known as Katendo. We are back again with another tutorial. Today we'll be reviewing the launch of in-game contests. Exciting, right? We'll go over how to navigate and view these events in-game and via app.exe. Contests are a new type of event in Axie Infinity where you complete missions to earn rewards and compete in a contest leaderboard. Now I'm going to show you how to view the in-game contest information via the Events tab, as well as navigating to the app.exe event section via the in-game option.
What's this?
So from here, you'll be able to click the Events tab, and you'll be able to see the current, upcoming, and past events and contests. For now, we're going to focus on the contest showcase. That's the one that I'll be participating in today. So you'll see the amount of time that you have left for that current event, the amount of contest points, CP. We will touch on that in a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and head over to the app.exe event section. So we'll click enter. This is going to open the events tab for us. From here, we get a complete overview. We'll be able to view the current milestones, the missions, the amount of contest points we have, the leaderboard, and the leaderboard rewards. So we're going to start off with contest points. How do we get contest points? So you unlock contest points from completing missions. So for today, we have 3 missions that we need to complete. For each mission, it will have a set number of times you can actually complete that mission. So as you see here, when a ranked arena battle in Origins, we get a total of 1 point for each time we complete this, and we can complete this up to 20 times. Then we have a win a ranked arena battle in Origin with at least 1 beast for another 10 points, and we can complete that 5 times. And then we have win an Origin battle with at least 1 plant. And then we can win up to 10 points and complete that 5 times each time. So that's a total of 50 points for the bottom 2 and a total of 20 points for just winning a ranked arena battle in Origin. Now you're saying, what happens now? What happens once we complete these missions? So let's say we completed the 2 bottom missions and we completed the top one as well. So we'll have a total of 120 points. That's where these milestones come in. Milestones. So you complete milestones by completing missions. And the more missions you complete, the more contest points you unlock. So by unlocking contest points, these will unlock the milestones. And for each milestone you unlock a reward attached to that milestone. So as you see, at 1 CP, we will earn 50 moon shards. At milestone 2,
yung mga yan, malig-matik na yan eh, madali na yan eh. So para sa, paano magagamit
this is a test contest, and these rewards and milestones will change depending on the contest and event that is
moon shard lang pala eh.
So now, I'm going to go and complete my first mission, and then come back and show you guys what happens next. Awesome. So we just got our first win in the arena, and we also was able to use our starter Axie Bubba, which is a beast, and our starter Axie Oleg, which is a plant. So we get 3 for 1. So we did 3 missions, points for using a beast Axie, 10 points for using a plant Axie, and 1 point for getting a win. Nice. So we completed 1 of each completion.
Ultimates versus Aster, a lot more like poke, get in there, try and annoy you a little bit, Heroes.
Yeah, in the last game they played this with the Shadowfiend, they did it for Matu, and ended up being 14-3 and 19 ending the game as that Death Prophet, absolutely crushing it with Mickey having a great game with Shadowfiend as well. And that's where they had Zai making all the space on their Brood, but of course that's been removed, and no surprises here if we get Insania regular, but oh, there we go.
So the one thing about the Shadowfiend is you either beat him by running at him and killing him, or by outranging him. So here's now the sniper picked, and this is going to kind of dissuade the Shadowfiend from going mid. That's a very hard lane matchup. So the Shadowfiend's probably going to try to want to go to the safe lane as well. Death Prophet doesn't want to lane versus sniper. So that's probably in the off lane now. So Asher kind of, without seeing exactly what they're doing, has a feeling. of what Liquid wants to do with their draft. So they can ban and they kind of can force Liquid into playing their game now.
I mean, in a way, that is one of the downsides of having such like a well-defined, incredibly strong group stage, is that people get a ton of film to look at and try and adjust and see if they can come up with answers to what you've been building.
Hey, you just keep winning, so you never have to adjust, and then they know what you're gonna do.
True.
It's not for Liquid. They're gonna aim for
Sniper, pre.
For a spirit that goes in. I could see a Mars.
Sniper, SF na
For
naman.
them, it's good versus the sniper. It's good versus the Lesh. Maybe even in the mid lane, it can lane the sniper.
They are all in the pool. I mean, we got what? Our, quote unquote spirit heroes. We got our pucks, we got our storms, our void spirits, our embers. They're keeping an eye on that though, just saying, there's so many spirits to ban. Might as well just look for the other options that are in the pool, perhaps.
Sometimes if there's 3, 4, 5 heroes that fill a similar role, you'd rather just ban the ones that do the special one.
Yes,
like the Naga. Nothing really can replicate what a Naga does for the draft, because they're gonna get one.
Yeah, right.
You can't ban them all. And Aster, they have the last pick, so they're going to end up getting to choose whatever they want. I think that this Lush is probably going to go to the offlane. Sniper will go mid, and then they're just going to pick a mid response to whatever Liquid pick on 23.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it would be interesting to try and run like Lesh mid. It doesn't really feel like it would be that great with the Sniper, because you kind of want to be like the big dog, when you're playing Leshrac, and then having a Sniper on your team, that can be a little bit of conflict, because they tend to really need a whole lot of support, kind of the same way Leshrac is like help support whenever you're playing in these fights.
I can't help but notice a ton of physical damage, and still having that Sven Warcry right now for Team Aster is going to be a little bit tough for Liquid to do damage. I feel. Is there anything else that you guys can see as a steroid, or do you not think that's as much of a problem? They're going to look to make it work in a different route?
It's not too concerning, just due to the fact that they have so much team fight on the side of Liquid.
Okay.
They have the ability to kind of control heroes or kite heroes very easily. Disruptor and Shadowfiend are some of the best heroes right now at kind of elongating these fights and always constantly catching heroes, slowing heroes. It's more an idea of whether they can win the fight after their BKBs. Leshrac's one of the best heroes right now if you can survive the BKB duration. And Liquid doesn't have the best way to save their heroes.
I feel like Liquid can just go anywhere right now. I would like to have a little bit more vision for the Disruptor if possible.
I think something like a Zeus could be nice. It gives them magic damage, it gives them vision. It doesn't do the front line or the catch job that they might want for the sniper, but
that's actually exactly what I wanted.
When you have enough vision,
that sounded really stupid. And if I said Zeus, I'd get flames. But you can do it, so that's good. He's a go gunner. Yeah.
Sometimes when you provide vision, it's enough to kind of make up for not being a body.
Yeah.
To the fact that it lets your supports cast spells.
Yeah.
Carry SF to eh. Offlane
DP. If it's 5v4, it doesn't matter if your lineup's a little bit stranger.
And the Marcy already kind of has people to play with. The Death Breath and the Shadowfiend both do want to walk in, so he'll be able to rebound.
Talo OG, oh.
Vision is probably the most important thing Liquid need. Vision or catch. I could see something like a Void Spirit as well if they wanted to go more of a get in there route.
Yeah.
But it doesn't pair that well, I think, with either of their supports.
Getting down to the wire here in the reserve time for Liquid, and the last pick is going to be the Mars that you talked about. So do have that catch. We'll see if it's going to be enough. Also, a good way to stop the damage coming from Sniper with that arena. Always super helpful.
This Leshrac, I really hope it's not Leshrac mid. I feel like it would be a very sad Leshrac mid. But maybe they're going to feel forced into doing that.
I think they might end up just putting the Sniper mid and the Leshrac even in the safe lane.
Yeah.
And now they kind of get to know the safe lane of Liquid as either Shadowfiend or Death Prophet or Mars. They can do whatever they want at this point. So they're just going to pick a stable lane, probably with the Crystal Maiden. Maybe some melee hero walks in. Oh, Tiny's banned. I was going to say Tiny could be very nice for Aster.
To me, it looks like if you get jumped as Aster, this is going to be a very bad fight. So I feel like, I mean, you can say the opposite as well, right? If Aster can just find something for that initial grab, start the fight off on good footing, then it can be very hard to find that sniper in the back line or something as well. So I'd be thinking more offensively, I guess, if I'm Aster right now than defensively.
It's been the entire theme of the draft so far, starting from that CM pick.
I think something in the sense of vision also works for Aster because of how Sniper really likes playing in vision. Also, Sniper has a lot of night vision, so maybe a Night Stalker for the side of Aster. He can always pop darkness. I believe he can still fly over the arena during his ult, and he catches the Disruptor, the Death Prophet. Instead they go for the Pango.
Sila ng pala coach nila eh.
Very nice versus Mars. Anytime you have a BKB built in versus Mars, you can always just dodge the arena. You can dodge the glimpse with roll up. It provides this go in here that they need.
He's like that combo breaker, it looks like. Like if they grab Ori, right, it's going to be up to XSS to try and get that save.
Silaan pala close sila pre. Legend din sa ano to eh.
A couple of switch-ups here with regards to the entire draft. We'll see if it is going to be enough, as both of these teams would absolutely love to be able to win this, move on in the upper bracket. For Aster, it's going to be the last Chinese team coming on in the upper bracket, and for Liquid, for 3 of these players at least, it would be the best placement they've ever had at TI. See if they can make it happen now. As we get ready to go into game number 1, Team Liquid facing off against Aster. So big thoughts, at least as far as this early laning stage goes. Is there anything that's super concerning?
I've been really liking the
Ginawang
Sniper.
ML style. Kaya nga eh.
Every time I see Sniper, he crushes the lane. Shrapnel Max is so much damage and slow.
Dapat soundproof yan. Dapat di nila naririnig yung caster o kaya yung crowd.
Even without level 6, just playing with the Death Prophet kind of forcing you, and you want to half defend your tower versus the Exo, and he glimpses you back in and you die. The Mars Arena, they have a lot of early timings, which I think Aster's really only big timing right now is the Pango. So I think there's going to be a lot in the back of the Pango to constantly defend the towers or has his team walk to him and always start the fights.
I'm looking forward to see how Boxy performs as well in terms of like heading towards this mid lane. Like all these concerns about the Leshrac and what that life's going to be like for this hero in this game. Marcy, obviously someone that can punish some of these more vulnerable heroes in that mid lane, so it's going to be...
Game! Bisa na ang laban!
Playing in the lane itself.
Liquid versus Aster. Parehas malakas to. Gandang laban to, pre.
They're ready for that one, for
sure. Smoke prepped as well, so they might just look to smoke in the dire jungle. And Liquid's already smoked. It looks like they're probably going to walk to mid and try to have some lines being drawn.
Alright, got ourselves a little pause to start this game, but surely we've got underway in just a second.
Rotating booths, and the settings still need to be fixed, guys.
Unbelievable.
We got it.
No, it's going to be an interesting thing to watch, I think, because you've got every single one of these Aster heroes have like a little weird, pokey, team fighty spell, which I like. You know, whether it's the Sven stun, you're throwing out some Pango stuff, it's all really nice there. And then meanwhile on the side of Team Liquid, it's like you commit those big ultimates, and once those are
para sa po event sa Axie, parang sa mga Moonshard, basta may mga reward eh, Moonshard as rune.
There's an opportunity here to play a little bit aggressive.
Lineup ng drop ng
Liquid. I also
Liquid.
think that both sides would really like to just kind of like chill out for a while, you know, get some stacks going, farm it up. So this could be one of those games where things are very relaxed. But to me, if there's someone who's going to be like running the show, it's probably going to be Boxy on the side of Liquid to try and get things going. And if it was for Acer, probably has to be XXS on the Pango.
Yeah, Liquid's their big time in this game is BKB. Mars, Shadow Fiend, Death Prophet all want their BKBs, and then don't die to the Lesh, don't die to the Pango, the CM.
Yeah.
They kind of all just can walk away. And on the side of Aster, no one really wants to buy an early BKB on their team. The Leshrac wants a Bloodstone, the Sniper wants to go all of his range so you can't even catch him. So it is all on this Pango right now, to whether he wants to go Diffusal or Blink, try to set up rolls and catch. And
Agang post na ito ah.
right now is how
Okay,
much
game.
their BKB timings once they get
Liquid. Let's go, matumba man. Smoke pareho.
It's going to be a lot of grouping, and Aster's going to be happy just playing the farm game.
Well, you can see the decision right now from Aster to wrap around up on the top side. We'll see if Liquid do run into them there or not. As Boxy's
Go matumba man pare. Matumba. Matumba. Matumba.
Just holding that hammer.
And now, drop down a ward in the jungle. They're gonna start heading down this hill.
Ikutan.
Quick little sight, and yeah, the pings are there. They immediately realize where they're at.
Just need like one more step.
Yeah,
just a little bit more that way.
Sa lubungan sana eh. Pa-share naman stream natin guys sa mga wala pang badge dyan. Thank you.
Do get some wards down. Liquid's unlikely to get taken away since they're sort of staying on their side of the map. And it looks like it's going to be a trade-off with 2 bounty runes apiece.
Liquid has this nice deep ward next to Roshan. I think it's pretty cool because there's a chance Aster swap their lanes up. They put the Shadow Fiend mid, the Leshrac in a side lane, and maybe Liquid will want to swap their lanes up depending on what they see. So now they get to kind of see where everyone's going. Fortunately for them, Aster's just doing kind of standard lane. Pango with the CM top, Lesh mid, Sniper's going bot. So nothing out of the ordinary right now. Besides the Death Prophet safe lane is a little interesting right now, this patch. It is something Liquid likes running.
Yeah, they, if they were looking, they're like, yeah, okay, they've just done this like very recently, so shouldn't be too much of a surprise to Aster. And it's actually interesting. We've seen some teams less willing, I think, to
swap
the
Agad malakas mag-SF to si Mickey.
There's a lot of teams who would maybe put their 5 on this Marcy just because it's in that safe lane, which Liquid is, they're much more comfortable just doing something like this in this setup because they know that, like, for the vast majority of the game, Foxy has this identity on the Marcy that they really want to achieve.
The 4,
yeah.
Right, exactly. Which fits in how they want it to play for him. As you can take a look here mid, Shadow Fiend versus Lesh. Gonna get a couple of raise hits off on there. Does get one denied out. So Ori, I think it's worth noting that this guy, I feel like last year at TI had one of the best performances that we've seen from him in the entire history of his play. And
well, to be fair, Puck was really broken.
I mean,
yes. This guy's a really good player. No, not to take anything
away
from
right. But when that happened, he ended up getting knocked out by the rest of these teammates here, and then ended up, coming together with them. We'll see if they can keep that type of success that they had last year going in this one.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of eyes on the bot lane right now. Sniper, once he hits his level 3, level 4 timing, he has some points in headshot, he has some points in shrapnel. That's when they can just kind of run down the Mars. And the Disruptor, a lot of the time, he doesn't save heroes. He just kind of watches him die. So if Sai walks up a little too far, once the Sniper hits level 3, it could be a little scary.
Yeah, I feel like since Undying started buying like 6 mangoes and decaying, doing the Disruptor thing just looks a whole lot weaker. It's just like, no, I can spam too, guys.
Everyone's doing that now. Yeah. They just buy 6 mangoes on the support. They just spam the Undyings don't buy tangos anymore.
Ang ESPORTS, wala akong magsalita. Ray, shoutout sa Ray.
Easy peasy.
Just moving on forward in life.
You get a little bit of pressure there. Back now onto Bobica as a couple punches, but Tumbaman trying to kill him off. And won't quite be enough there, but even with all those mangoes, at least he'll have some pretty good regen on the CM to try and get back into the lane quickly.
None of the supports have made a move towards mid yet. I think probably at the 4-minute water runs, we could see Boxy move towards mid. If he gets a jump on the Lesh, pulls him back, that's a pretty nice kill for them. Pretty easy on the Lesh.
Certainly the most mobile as well, right? We all know Crystal Maiden. She's
not the fastest hero in the world.
It takes a little while.
Yeah, Marcy gives some flashbacks to Earth Spirit from a couple years ago when every position 4 they pick Earth Spirit, they get level 2, they TP mid, roll kick, your mid laner's dead.
It's a constant play, and of course both of these heroes very susceptible to getting kills in the mid lane. On their positioning, so we'll have to watch for that and any of those early TPs. But for now, at least, Aster looking
good. Ganda ng lineup ng Liquid dito, pre.
Particularly the Lesh there. 4 denies. As Zai talked about it, is getting ran down a little bit by that level 2 shrapnel. Monet already playing a bit aggressive on the Mars.
The boots pick up on Zai is going to be really important, but he ends up going for a raindrop bracer. I think he just wants to tank up. The Disruptor does have slows and glimpse, so he has ways to kind of push them off of him. It's more so once they're onto the
first blood.
Quick jump and kill. And that's the rotation we were talking
about.
Ang
talagang Marcy na yan eh. Ang sarap talaga E4 yan eh.
All the phones popping up in the audience. Yeah, I see you all. Checking right away. Checking that email. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what they do. Regardless, that first blood coming on out. And
someone got one. I saw they're celebrating. Nice. Good job.
As Matumbo Man is also going to get a little bit of pressure there on XXS.
Nako! Balibag! Nako! XXX! Blocking, body block. Gandang body block.
Those heroes that really can't get completely.
Sardinas hold talaga sa OG. OG ka nagbet, coach.
Zai, Chase, continue to run down.
Nako, si Zai, pre! Pre! Uy, buhay pa! Mikig pa si Zai.
Behind the trees and keeps himself alive. Maybe a spear through the trees looking for a kill. Can they get it? Doesn't quite look like it as he was salving back up. Bobica dies in the top lane while this is.
Saan ka dyan? Liquid daw rito, par.
3-0 start for Liquid.
Magre-retire na si Matumba eh.
Back in the Marcy rotation. He gets level 3, TP's mid, kills the Lesh, walks top, gets 2 kills back to back, and there's a lot of pressure on Liquid right now. It looks bots not the best. It's not terrible, but Sniper's having a great time down here. Their Lesh. The Shadow Fiend just kind of crushing mid now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really hard game as well. Like if Monet gets off to a good start, like trying to find the sniper in the back line, you know, we don't have one of those classic counters. Some of those classic counters don't feel like very good heroes right now. You know, you think about like the Spectre in particular. It's something that like used to be such an easy answer at the end of the draft. Like this, you would have been like, oh, easy, but that's a good way to do it though. You catch him running.
That is stun there. Ichu keeps him alive and well, and now Monet chasing, looking to run down Zai. Again, another round of the shrapnel. He's got to run through it, trying to escape, but Zai is going to be brought down. Monet making quick work of that Mars.
That was pretty much a defensive spear that he missed, right? Like trying to just like get the sniper further away when he went for the retreat.
It's really nice stun to kind of break the glimpse spear off. Again, I think Astra right now, they're just playing for the Pango level 6. These lanes are not amazing for them, just outside of the bot lane. And they need the Pango 6 to be able to rotate to the side lanes. The Leshrac has some play on mid, but anytime the Shadow Fiend is just having a stable, strong lane, you don't really want to bring heroes to the lane and give them opportunities to get more kills.
Especially with a Mercy being there, as Box is already back.
And down bottom, more aggression coming out as Insania and Zai were trying to take down Monet there. Couldn't quite find him all the way, but Boxy moves in, snipes a courier. No chance for a kill, as they did already get that DD rune on Mickey.
Yeah, Boxy, like he did run right through Boca as well, so they're going to know there's a ward here somewhere. Maybe he'll miss on the sentry because it can be a bit tough to find it, but going to keep an eye, try and keep an eye on these stats. Getting ready here for one of his allies.
Talo pa ako.
Try and cue those.
Ezekiel, shoutout sa'yo.
Well, he'll take a creep along the way too.
Yung
That's what
pakot.
the CMs do. Exorcism popped up top.
Wilmore, shoutout sa'yo.
Trying to get some good pressure on
Say my
this
name,
tier
say my
1
name.
tower.
God.
As XXS is just going to have to deal with this, and should be fine. It's about down to half HP.
I really like this Exorcism. So I feel like it ends up waiting to like level 7 or level 8 to get popped anyway, when people tend to get it like at this part, because like someone has to rotate, you're waiting for other allies to be ready to use it. Oh, that's good.
And in fact, if they can get this kill, this would be huge. XXS able to dodge the raise, but it has another one in a second. No. Couple more punches, XXS going to die.
They still have glimpse here too.
Ay, si Pango. Nahabol niya si Boboka. Boboka, takbo.
But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find him there. But Boboka glimpse back in, a couple more hits, and Mickey finds another finish. So 5
Nice
to 1.
one.
And in fact, after they make that
Uy,
move,
Sven, nabigyan din nila yung Sven, pre. Ganda naman ang ginagawa ng Liquid dito. Beautiful, beautiful.
Liquid are just cooking here.
Yeah, Mickey TV's back mid right away too to catch this wave. So this is so much gold going to Liquid after these kills.
This is a really nice movement. All the sieges got defended. Zai kills the siege bot, Mickey kills the siege mid. They kind of alleviate all this 5-minute pressure that generally can happen when you play around the Leshracs. And then they just break the lanes apart instantly. Shadowfiend goes top, Death Prophet TP's bot. They keep grouping their cores. Every play now is probably going to involve 2 cores in the lane. Whether it's the Shadowfiend, the Mars Death Prophet, they're always going to want them to play together because they're the strongest heroes on the map.
And this is a big one. Requiem out, couple raises, gets the kill. Dude, Liquid are looking on fire this morning.
I feel like
him
it's
to play.
Yeah, now Matu though at least is in trouble. Headshot procs are there. Yeah. Very unlikely to survive here unless Sai can quickly get 6.
Well, another couple rounds. The Spirit Siphon trying to make it happen. Is it going to be enough? Matumba Man living somehow, some way. Are you kidding me? Matumba Man walks away, does finally get brought down, but they got the kill onto the sniper. They do lose Zai. Have they gone a little bit too big for their britches? Astra brought numbers back and forth in just a valley of death. Boxy 2 will fall, so it looked tight for a moment, but the penalty was big.
Okay, this is where Zai just needed to not get 6, because you know the arena gave them hope.
Hope is the most dangerous thing, Trent.
At the same time, Disruptor's getting some beauty time in the top lane, almost level 6. Static Storm, anytime you catch the Pango role is the fight right now. Every time the Pango shows up, the fight's going to be somewhat in Astra's favor. So if you catch him with a Static Storm, you catch him with a Silence from Death Prophet or a Mars Arena, that's how you kind of are aiming to play these fights.
And you can see that Astra's still keeping an eye on everything that happened top, because Boboka's running back there now with sentries. Like, he has not forgotten. He's like, we lost that fight there. Still some stacks. They've actually blocked off that same camper there as well. So Boboka, though, unfortunately, not going to find an obs this time. So
the scary thing right now for Astra is a lot of their heroes want a lane. Pango wants us in a lane. Sniper wants us in a lane. Leshrac's somewhat comfortable going to the jungle just because of how fast he farms, but on the side of Liquid, they're giving lanes to Disruptor for free. They don't really need they don't feel the need to sit in all their lanes. They just feel the need to group up and force plays.
And that's the power of Marcy, right? So like, I think that's why Boxy, like, it's just Marcy, Clockwork, Tusk. Like, it just lets them do this exact same style every time.
Scan was able to hit there. Liquid walk up the hill after the fact, and now going to try and contest this stack that's been built up a little. It's 3 camps, and one of them's the Mud Golem, so not easy to sneak that one. And in fact, Aster will zone back Matumba Man.
You can see how confident Boxy is, though. He just is able to walk up hills, and if you go on him, he just rebounds away, and not much to do. There's no...
Or rebounds on top of you, up top.
Now Bobica gonna get chased, and the dual supports come in to kill the other one. Ori looking for a little bit of retribution here. Will run into Insania, and while they have Glimpse, he's not gonna get Glimpse that far. They move in, XXS right on top, Insania in trouble and likely to fall. So Aster make a solid move, able to claim a kill.
It's good. This is what Aster needs to do. They need to group around. Probably the Lush and the Pango need to play together, try to force towers, force objectives with the roll. And anytime Liquid sees where the Pango is on the map, they can just go to the opposite side, force towers, force objectives. And
okay, Torre. Go, Matumba Man!
Fight the tower, or they just...
Justin, shoutout sa'yo.
Yeah, now they're going to bring 3 heroes to the mid lane as well here, so perhaps some quick action. They
Trade tower lang.
Smoke if they want to, but they're seeing that there's no real...
Bigay rin task
They
nila.
don't necessarily need to join up, so... Gonna wait till they push this out a little bit here before they start playing a little bit more aggressive. I'm sure they want to link up though with Zai since he does have that arena.
Smoke indeed as Liquid head down. Will run into Pichu here. Zai playing dumb.
Ole?
Well, actually find him as they're looking for the other kill onto Boca. So get the glimpse back, pull him in, stun, keep
Let it go! Let it go! Boom!
In some trouble, Ori.
Uy, patay!
Likely to fall now.
Patay Marcy.
So they get 1 kill on the Marcy, but
pero okay lang, patay Leshrac eh.
Lesh, XXS shows up. This could be the fight winner. And with that, Liquid are going to get a little bit of a disengage. Zai
Nako!
trying to find a
Sai! Nagawa mo dyan?
to get it, and he
Lalim.
is going to get punished.
Lalim, Sai.
Aster, a little bit bold with the Lesh. They still get a couple kills in return. It's a very bold TP.
Camera ka, wait lang.
There was I think a slight miscommunication with XSS because he sees the Pango there and he hit roll and he's like, oh okay, like we're gonna have a fight together right
I think
here,
he also
right?
sees everyone's going on the Crystal Maiden who's
yeah.
They're distracted.
Yeah.
They're on the CM. They're gonna have to use all their stuns there, and I'll have free reign of the fight. I think right now Aster, they need the Blink Dagger on the Pango, and the minute 15 shard for Sven is gonna be really impactful versus the Shadow Fiend armor and the Death Prophet.
Can see right here as well that they did immediately change up and left. They're like, all right, Boxy, you got that one right. As the rest of the team.
Yeah, there was a recent change now that the outpost TPs I think are default 7 seconds to start. So now there's just so much time. Once you see the TP, you have a lot of time to just walk backwards, go take the fight, and you see the idea. He wants to backstab the fight kind of and appear behind them, but a nice read by Liquid to just change targets instantly.
Yeah, no successful pincer maneuvers here, unfortunately.
They did still get Zai in that little engagement, though, and he has definitely been the most hurt of the cores in the entire game. You can see SF nursing that pretty substantial lead over the rest of the cores, and if you're Liquid, that's definitely what you want to see. But how much of a concern is it that you still got that tri-core from Aster?
Recipe na lang kulang.
I think it's
mananampal na to.
BKB timing. If he gets it and they're able to actually force objectives and force timings, it'll look really good for Liquid, and their gold lead is just gonna skyrocket off the BKB. Shadow Fiend's BKB will give Death Prophet and Mars both of their BKBs just off the fizz. And on Aster, all they need to do is find a way to kind of slow the bleeding, slow the timings down. Because once they hit their timings, they hit the Bloodstone, maybe in another item on the Lesh. The sniper hits his Dragonlance Maelstrom is generally what people are going, or a BKB, then he starts pumping out damage, the Sven gets shard, Tango's gonna get this. It looks like he's actually gonna go for a Wraith Pact instead of the Blink.
That's a pretty cool idea to try and, like, because he is just building into that concept. Like, he knows what his idea is, right? Like, I need to initiate, and I need to try and, like some additional tankability for my Leshrac specifically.
Yeah, he needs to somewhat carry the game in a sense of the amount of impact he's gonna have in terms of the team fight, but his carry is just being in there, tanking and stunning. He doesn't have to damage heroes, he doesn't have to do much, he just has to exist there and create chaos.
The thing I've learned this TI is a Wraith Pack is a good item.
It's a very good item.
It's my #1 takeaway, and XXS queuing that one up.
So right now, Liquid do not have a Wraith Pack queued up. The Wraith Pack advantage will be in Aster's hands.
Yeah, this is a pretty hard game to figure one out for Liquid, I would say.
Yeah, the cores have very important items they need to buy. Mars.
Tamang ano lang pakiramdaman lang
The Blink and the BKB are just too powerful for what he needs to do as a hero in the fights.
Courier actually missed uphill there. Chasing
Stun?
side. They throw out the stun, does a little sneak to the side for Pichu, and that keeps him alive. So still a very even game as we
nasa lower bracket lang
to
EG.
come online. And Liquid hoping to
Mamaya may laro
control this side
sila.
of the map with all the tier 1s now pretty much claimed.
Yeah, I mean that BKB is
Kalaban nila
very
Beast Coast.
soon for Mickey, right? And then they probably go up the triangle, get some wards down, start prepping boards of Roche.
Liquid's, I would say Liquid's stronger in a sense of team fight / like holding areas. Anytime Liquid wants to walk to an area, take it, say like, this is ours, you fight it, Aster's going to walk away. They're not going to want to take these fights. They're going to walk away, keep farming, hitting their timings. But Aster, you know, if Liquid walks too far forward, the sniper gets a nice shrapnel, gets a bunch of hits off. That's where Liquid just has to be careful of their amount of aggression. They have to control it. They have to keep just taking the small advantages, keep building, and then at some point that's when they hit the Roche, hit the throne.
Rovic has been given a lot of space in this mid lane. Already has drums completed, going in for the Aether Lens next. Just going to give even more of that power to just sort of poke and prod. As Liquid go for the wraparound back behind the tier 1 tower. Won't run into anybody there as you can see Aster only leaving that one support mid, just keeping the lave shoved out whenever possible.
It's a dangerous place right now, this mid lane. You know, some smoked up enemies on the other side there.
The BKB is finished on Shadow Fiend, and they want this tier 1 mid. It opens up the map a lot. You can go into both jungle and mid lane. You can actually push your creeps past the tower.
He skipped the blink.
Yeah.
Finished the full Wraith Pact.
All right, Pango gets it done now.
Liquid right now, I think he noticed the Death Prophet went for Yules first. The Mars is also not having an amazing game. He went Falcon Blade. So his game's not terrible, but it's not going to be a fast BKB. So he's not really going to have issues catching heroes with the roll or being forced to start the fights purely with roll. He just kind of has to be able to, you know, when arena drops, you roll in and save your team.
Yeah.
Or when they start kind of walking in up your hill, you start the fight with roll.
I think it's just interesting because now I feel like they don't have much initiative. I think it's very hard for
Game
like,
1.
they do want to.
Hi, hello, Mark.
They have a good opportunity. It feels like it's going to be very difficult for Aster.
Guys, up to
Round again, you've got the Blink Dagger done on that.
Nako.
As the stun finds him. Just
Nabigyan si Mickey.
Easy with the smoke kill. Mickey was not prepped for that one. Can they find any more?
You just have a great ward.
That's a great ward to have.
That's free fight.
Oh, pulls him out. Oh, it pulled him out of the arena. Tries to get out of there. Ori now finds one. Zai in trouble. This fight has gone terribly for Liquid as Monet is going to run down this Mars. Matumbo Man still surviving through it though. Can he do the damage the rest of his team couldn't? I don't think so. Matumbo Man also starting to fall. Only the Pango is dying.
Meron.
On the other side, Aster take down everybody but the supports.
Sniper.
Just chaining the plays.
Yeah, it was so fast.
In the same roll. He keeps rolling down behind the tower. He forces this play, and he does his roll. He goes and he dies. He takes a bunch of spells. He forces Liquid to want to continue fighting, and the arena, the sniper, and the Lesh, but they have no damage now because everything's being used on the Pango.
Yeah, instantly like running towards that mid lane, dropping that additional ward down to give even more vision because, you know, lacking that Blink Dagger, it is the vision, right? You know, talking about like it's poor initiation at this point because he went for the full Wraith Pact. It doesn't matter. If Sven can run up smoked and just throw a stun, that's like the best case scenario as a support Sven, particularly you know, aside from your shard, that's kind of your other big thing, right?
And you can immediately see that Mickey pinged out. All right, they've got wards up in this area. It doesn't quite connect, though, on any of those observers. We'll see if Insania is able to spot the other one or not.
Yeah, it's this really nice deep ward above the outpost.
Yeah,
Aster has. It just had this tiny sliver of vision of the camp where they just saw a Shadow Fiend. If he was like 10 units to the right, maybe he doesn't even get caught by that stun, but Insania gets the D ward.
10 to 11, and you can see the replay here. For a moment, I thought that it was, you know, maybe Pango could have survived that since Boxy had pulled him just out of the Static Storm, but it didn't end up matter. He was still silenced.
Yeah, they had to like chain the Death Prophet one additionally as well because of that. But yeah, Zai unfortunately not able to get like because it took so long to take down the Pango, essentially, right? Like he had no
sniper
from his friends in time.
Yeah, they have the Lesha and the Sniper are very strong, so when you're forced to use spells on just a Pango, you're kind of letting these damage cores survive the spells. And like we said, Liquid is between the Mars and the Disruptor, they're very, you know, 10-15 seconds of the team fight. They do so much. They have so much control, so much fight, and then it's maybe on the Marcy to just continue to catch, maybe it's on the Death Prophet to just keep being able to run in, but this 10 to 15 seconds of Liquid's fight is their strongest. So when you just force that all on a Pango and you don't deal with a sniper, he just gets free reign in the fight.
I mean, the good news is, though, is that he didn't have time to BKB and waste his 9-second charge.
There you go. All right.
They still have
the positives.
Gotta look at him.
Matu is also finishing his BKB up. He's about 300 gold away.
Ooh, heads up there. Zai gets away just in time.
Nice one.
XXS will not manage to catch onto that Mars. But a really good fight one like we talked about for Aster. There still is that bottom tier 1 tower that they have yet to claim.
The scary thing I see right now for the side of Liquid is that Zai just has a Blink Dagger, no BKB. And he's basically, he has to be able to blink in and stun and preferably survive when he blinks in and arena stuns. But there's so many different things on Aster that can catch him. Either cancels blink between like the shrapnel or random swashbuckle, or maybe he just blinks in and gets instantly stunned by the Pango roll.
True.
And it's just a lot on the back of him to, if he gets these good spears, these good arenas, it's going to be great for Liquid.
I think that Aster as well have an excellent read on everything that Liquid want to do right now. Like, you know, you pointed out at the start of the game, like this is their timing. They want these BKBs. It is something that Aster are also well aware of. And so the positioning of their heroes are like always having like the Leshrac, the Sven, and the CM kind of like staying up front, while you then have the sniper just farming a little bit behind them, and go sort of nearby as well. They're shutting out that area of the map for such a long time that Liquid have missed out on that Roche timing.
Max amounts of force staffs getting picked up for Liquid. They have the Dragon Lance completed, full 1 Hurricane Pike, but you can see as Aster ready to move on in. Liquid, they have an idea that this is happening, but it's going to come too late.
But it was too late.
They might still look to fight. Aster might not expect this fight.
Zai, he's running right into a Monet there. Have it, but the BKB, it's out already. But Tumble Man trying to survive, has the BKB running on top of Pichu, now trying to take down Monet. All 3 cores on top of him, but it's not quite enough. The static storm. Yes, the spear, they got him. Monet will fall. That's 1 life. Still a lot of exorcism left. And meanwhile, Boxy gets the stun with that rebound. Up on the high ground. Keeps chasing down. In trouble, wanting to kill him all off. Does he have enough? He's surviving the little sniper. He's so strong. He's so big. Let it happen. Oh, Insania now turns. They didn't have enough for the 2nd life. That Warcry armor coming in from the Sven completely demolished up. And the root from Bobica, Liquid, they're all gonna fall.
Pichu came in like riding from down the hill. He had like 10% HP. I'll save you. Stuns him on Mickey, runs over, gets another Warcry off, and they turn that entire fight around. They couldn't quite get that last bit of damage after the Aegis.
It was looking really scary. Ori actually didn't get his ult off. So he got silenced with no ult running. He pops his Bloodstone, he gets silenced again. He doesn't get his ult off. So he didn't even lifesteal at all in that fight. He's like almost full mana. So
he did 600 damage. Really big carry.
That is crazy.
And it still took them so long to take him down.
And especially the way it starts, right? Like they find Monet, he's forced to very early BKB. All he does is hit Zai the entire time. Zai is going to back away. Yeah, into the bulwark. He's the back away. Wave of the step. Great force staff play there as well. But then Zai eventually gets the blink in. But on this reset, it's so hard to believe that with a Requiem from the high ground like that, they couldn't get this finish.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
And Pichu, he just comes like running in from the right now.
He's like,
there he is.
I'm here, don't worry. Just barely, and it's enough.
Yeah.
What a huge play from Aster as they are able to survive that fight. And again, very even in the live game right now. But things could start spinning pretty quickly out of control if Liquid aren't careful.
Yeah, a lot of that fight I think actually was on the Pango, even though it didn't look like he had much impact. He rolls and it forces the Death Prophet BKB and the Shadow BKB.
Yeah.
And
Di pa naman nila matatalunan yung sniper basta-basta.
75% health, but he's fine trading roll for your BKB. He knows that if he uses his roll, he can still push race back, he can still be tanky. But once you pressure BKB, you can't really fight the CM, you can't fight all the stuns on the side of Aster.
Yeah, and now after that Wraith Pact, he's already picked up the shard, and he's just about to get his Blink Dagger there as well. So, gonna have a whole other level coming from XSS soon.
Well, tier 1 tower taking a bottom, and Aster, they are continuing this onslaught here. 4K gold lead.
They're gonna see Zai in behind now, catching that next wave.
Yeah.
So there is a glyph here as well from Liquid. They are gonna pop it, just kill the wave. So we'll see how dedicated they are.
Ori is a BKB now,
first tier 2. Yeah.
It's very hard, I think, for Liquid to now fight, like, ever take a fight into Aster. Whenever Aster sets up, The sniper has heroes at the front to protect him. The Pango's going to get his roll up. That's where it's scary. But anytime Aster walks into the stuns, the disruptor glimpse, you know, they go too far hitting a tower and he gets glimpsed back. That's where Liquid just pumps out the damage.
Oh, Zai, big play. He catches the Blink Dagger Courier. It was flying on its way out to XXS.
Oh, that's real big.
Yeah.
A nice little window here. I mean, again, there's no Roche for another 4 minutes at the very least, since that Aegis was immediately reclaimed. So likely to have a little bit of downtime here before a big push, but they could go for some type of a smoke play if there is that item timing that they wanted to hit, like the blink.
Yeah, to me it buys time for Zai's BKB as well, right? Like, he's finding all these waves inside the map. He just gets it now. So if they were able to force a fight now from Liquid, and he knows that there was a Blink Dagger on there, it could be a great timing for them.
4 of them on the map, all of them up and ready. 8 and 9 seconds as Boxy also getting close. He's about 800 gold or so away from finishing off his.
Yeah, and right now the vision advantage is in Liquid's favor. They've been seeing quite a few of these movements here from Aster because of the ward that they have, whereas Aster have nothing. They can't see anything that's going on that dire side of the map right now, so they're going to rely on these waves finally getting pushed out to see if they can spot something.
My favorite thing right now is we're going back to the old days of Shadow Fiend, Shadowblade, Sniper, Shadowblade.
Jeez, that was when I started playing Dota. Every game was just a Drow building a Shadowblade and Ricky's. It was just invis everywhere.
I mean, still pretty strong when you can build up into that that break. Love to see that one. But
Sniper, all of his attack range will be gone.
So sad.
I think right now Liquid still has a lot of damage, even though they're slightly behind.
Force out that BKB. Zai might need to throw the arena if he wants to live here even.
Bag it up, you know.
Get on out of there, buddies. Do use the glimpse. Okay, no Ori here in this fight. Could take another one after. Mickey chasing. Invis. Monet is also gone and away. Can they do it? Doesn't look like it.
That's a hard grab. After already glimpsing, of course.
That was a cool little thing by XSS. So when he swashes without hitting them. Because when you hit them, it gives you vision, and there's a chance he gets glimpsed off of his swash backwards.
Oh, right.
So he does a nice little thing where he just swashes and intentionally does it in the opposite direction, so there's no chance they provides vision to Liquid.
Something we can watch for there later. They maybe catches himself out because of that. But for now, he's also got the roll-up completed. 10 seconds until his Blink Dagger is back and in his possession.
Liquid right now, they either need to kill in a spear. He hits a spear on the sniper, he'll just get blown up. Or they need to be able to survive the BKBs. And honestly, they want to try to hold the arena for after the BKBs. You saw in the fight in the tri-camp, Zai just kind of kept walking at him his entire BKB duration. And he ended up catching him after the BKB. And if it weren't for the Aegis, they would have won that fight. So right now, they need to find a way to force BKBs without pressing arena. I think that's going to be a lot on Boxy with his BKB to just jump on the sniper, pressure ult, kind of force his ability, his defensive abilities, his BKB. That's where Zai's just waiting, watching the fight, and then he blinks in, gets the arena after the BKBs, and Mick is able to do all the damage.
And it's be like a very quick follow-up, it feels like, where it's like Boxy and then like Matu's in at the same time, and that's when you have these like sort of side lane heroes like kind of waiting to come in, like the Mars, the Disruptor, and the Shadow Fiend.
I mean,
get their moment spotted.
It is worth noting, you know, there's a reason a lot of people ban Marcy. This is one of the strongest timings in the entire game. And when you get that BKB, you can just solo cores if they're not careful and don't have friends nearby.
Phase Boots BKB, the scariest timing. So much damage.
It's kind of insane. As we will have a pause here. It's Boxy mid-flight. And it will be an interesting couple of minutes to watch, too, as we get ready for Roche to respawn. 1 minute and still it's capable of popping back up. And like you were talking about, that vision, Aster do have one ward up on the high ground right above the Roche pit. Meanwhile, Liquid have one right above their tier 2 tower up on the other side of the map as well.
Interesting, Boboko actually went for a Yules instead of the, I think he was going Aether Lens.
Yeah, he was for a while.
I'm kind of curious as to what's his goal with it. Maybe it's to try to get the Marcy off of his sniper.
That'd be my guess too. Oh, they just smoked on top of that ward. Boboko laughed. They have a jump. Yeah, okay. They saw it as they smoked. I was like, oh,
all right, that's fine.
Just a bait. It's fine.
If they go farm now, Liquid's gonna still be scared.
Yeah, that's true. It's not like you can't just assume like, oh, they saw that.
Right. Gem purchase now by Insania as they're hanging out by another ward. So that is all of the vision pretty much for Liquid in this area, taking off the map. And with Roche capable of respawning soon. And in fact, it's going to be 1 minute away. Liquid need to be a little bit wary about that and their positioning to make sure they don't give up a free Aegis.
Everyone's just worried about getting their next timing due to the fact of how hard it is for either team to really jump the other one. So everyone just wants to be able to be the ones who you walk into them and you lose the fight. That's why you Mickey's just kind of farming a lot, and it's just because if he has the damage, he can do everything Liquid needs him to do.
I think Matu, nice choice here with the Shiva's card, right? Versus the Leshrac too. Very cool.
Really nice. Yeah, that extra regen reduction will be super helpful. So things to watch for here again is all of the vision into the favor of Aster. They get a Silver Edge completed on Shadow Fiend, and we'll see if they can, now holding that outpost on Aster, keep this area under control. But a smoke up from Liquid. Let's see where they go.
Two big things right now are if Pango gets roll off, it's probably going to be good for Aster, and whether or not Zai is able to hold his arena for after the sniper BKB. Those are the two big things, and depending on what happens, it kind of shows who's going to win the fight.
They're so blind. They're just running in.
They drop down a ward. That one is scouted. They had vision in the area,
they
so
actually saw
Aster knows. They know he's there. Get him broke right at the start, punched a couple of times, but Tumbaman completely obliterated right at the start. Zai tries to escape from there, but Monet runs him down. Liquid just ran into death.
It's so hard to try to take areas away, but they need to. You need to get control of Roche. You need to. They want to set up to defend the tower. You want to always be able to fight. It always feels very stressful when you keep asking yourself, you're asking the team, like, hey guys, when can we fight? When can we take this fight? And you don't get an answer.
Oh, that roll-up started just at the exact perfect time as well there, too. Thunder into the roll-up, complete perfect chain stun, no saves there in time. Not a whole lot you can do unless Fox is going to find a shard or something here, right? Like, he is stuck and done, and that is a free Roche now. Side of Aster.
Concussive grenade also picked up now for Monet. Has a little more space distance in the fights.
If he wasn't hard enough to catch already.
Right.
I think for Liquid, obviously there's an Aegis, so you're going to be probably thinking about your high ground defense. But again, all they really need is to be able to start a fight cleanly. They need to catch the Pango, they need to catch the sniper without an Aegis.
Make it sound so easy, Gunner.
I mean, this is a tough one now, and Aster just looking incredibly clean. Each of the moves that we've seen them make around the map, it's been with purpose. They've had vision down early on. Liquid are the ones that are trying to come in and oust them from those areas, and as you said earlier, it does become a problem when they're already set up and positioned well.
I think anytime either team has a hill, has a kind of a ward or a high ground, and they get walked into, they're going to win. No, even though Liquid's down 7,000 gold, I still think they have the ability to fight. But Aster is just, they just are constantly forcing so much pressure between towers, between Roche, that Liquid are always the ones who feel like they have to walk into them.
An Aeon disc that I saw getting completed pretty soon too.
I did see XSS has one.
He has one locked, so he's ready. He's pretty much prepared. The only concern with it is he'll still die to the static storm if he gets caught. Right. But now the Mars can't really spear him and just blow him up. It's pretty nice.
Well, tier 2 tower going to be hit. This is the last outer tower for Liquid. With that said, they've been in this position many times. This lineup has had plenty of comebacks. We'll see if today is going to be another one of those instances, as Aster are now going to split up a little bit. Ori on the other side of the map, so Zai kind of in a pretty good position for a fight. They get the BKB off, misses on the spear though. Pichu caught for the moment, roll back and forth, catching onto the Shadow Fiend. What a great roll coming out from XXS, and Monet, I don't know if they have the damage to bring him down. He's there waving, looking for a high five, and even without Ori, they take this fight perfectly. Chase down another, Matumbaman in some trouble, trying to get a little bit of separation, but they'll kill Insania to boot.
And all Zais, the fight breaks down, he just runs to the creep wave.
XXS, he assembles it, and now in some more trouble. The ulti down, godlike Monet. Liquid do not have answers for this Aster lineup.
It's the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Aster holds an area, Liquid feels forced to make a move, they walk into the ward, the fight gets hard. Anytime, it's just Pango. Pango's always going to get his roll up. You can't walk into a ward and prevent the Pango from rolling up.
It's kind of like they have the same weakness for both the Pango and the Sniper. Right? They just have no way of stopping the very beginning of the fight for their game plan to start. That was a nice concussive as well there from Monet for that initial distance, making it kind of getting like baited in, right? Just like drawn further and further, and then XSS easy clean up.
Even if they hit the spear, what? They kill the Sven a little faster?
Right.
There's not enough control right now to deal with the sniper.
Monet has been playing such a fabulous game, and I think a lot of people, you know, it was back at TI7, LFY, the lineup that he was playing on when he first really made a name for himself. And, you know, after a lot of those other really well-storied players retired, he kind of found himself lacking a place, and now he's found it with this group of players, and Aster looking to continue their dominance in this upper bracket. We'll see if Monet can keep it up. The rest of Aster can make the plays that they need. Ori blinks forward aggressively, won't find anybody, is going to be glimpsed back. XXS still threatening a roll. What can they do? The stun, it's there. On to Matumba Man. Yule Scepter keeps him alive. Ori trying to run down Boxy. Matumba Man gets out. They pulled them into a fight with roll wearing off. Can they do anything? But Sniper, he's still always there, ready to plink away. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Chase him down again. Mickey, Invis, everybody that walks forward is getting blasted.
They're in so much trouble they can't even force a glimpse.
What a freaking destructive draft for Master.
Butterfly's now finished for Monet. Look how much damage he's done.
He's done quite a bit, yeah.
He's done more than all the other cores of Liquid combined almost.
So it was a really nice sniper. Again, you know, it solves the Shadow Fiend, it solves the Death Prophet. It kind of fixes these heroes where they walk in slowly and they just keep killing everything that stands in front of them because he doesn't stand in front of them. He stands over the hill, 2 yards away, 2 blocks away, just impossible.
Well, and it was Matumba Man, if I remember correctly, that was one of the first people that was playing Sniper in this tournament. Yeah. He was one of the ones that showed the power that this hero can have if left unaddressed. And
oh, he might be getting sniped right now.
Now he's over in the jungle, caught and going to be killed off. No help nearby at all as they will bring down Matumba Man again. Captain hitting the dirt.
No buyback either.
Stun. Ooh. Oh my god. Ori gets the blink out before the right click comes in.
There's even a BKB. It was on cooldown.
Yeah, he's done a couple of
stun.
He's had some nice little split push plays throughout this game too. Kind of quiet a few times, but he has done a very good job of just like keeping up his own farm and providing the safer areas for Monet for the vast majority of it.
And Aster, keep the aggression going. There is not an answer. They don't have an Aegis, but they don't need one right now, as they will take down another set of racks. And you can see Liquid on the other side of the map just trying to farm up, get into that next set of items if at all possible. But Aster are not giving them the time.
They don't want to force a fight without Death Prophet. The game can look a little sad, but you always need to make sure that you're giving yourself the best opportunity to win. So now that their Death Prophet's dead, you just have to give up. You have to play for the last racks. You have to play for the the winning the game. You can't just play for, you know, we have to defend this racks, guys. It feels bad.
Right.
You have to just make your sacrifices.
So when you say you have to give up, you mean give up the racks.
Give up the racks.
Not
Yes,
the game.
yes, of course.
Okay. Well, we'll see now as Blink, Boots of Bearing, Yule's on the CM. Aster have gone for all of these great team-fighting oriented items.
Maybe an actual moment.
This could be big. Ori jumped. Oh, they miss. And BKB, the turnaround. Boxy immediately TP's out of there. They're going to cancel the TP in from XXS.
That was a really nice try. If he got the fear on the right click into the jump, they actually could have bursted him. You have to do these small plays. Anytime you kind of split up your heroes, you go to the side lanes. Heroes always want to push the lanes out. Ori's been doing it all game where he'll go to a side lane, he'll push it out past the corner, and Liquid needs to set up these kind of traps to catch the heroes out. And every kill means so much for them right now.
It is really your only chance,
right? Or legendary high ground defense.
Of course.
They still have the team fight. They still have the Mars Arena. The Mars Arena is one of the strongest spells to team fight with, especially once the BKBs are down. It's just the question of, are you able to force them to BKB
na-mute na naman yung
without
mic ko,
pressing
pre.
Arena? And so far, the answer has been no.
Yeah, and Aster, I mean, they're
Last clash para sa Liquid.
secure about this, just thinking, yeah, maybe we'll wait out for Roche, see what happens, see if we can catch someone coming into their base. They're certainly in no rush right now.
It's always tempting, though. You get that DD on the sniper bottled up. No boots, no problem. But they're doing the same thing that they've been doing all game. Hold an area, wait for Liquid to run into them. And when that will not happen, the downside is that Liquid are going to need to keep these waves pushed out. They can't even really leave their base right now.
One of the nice things, which is why Aster's been able to hold area so much, is that Liquid doesn't
Last clash para sa Liquid.
Which it's
Kaya pa
the
ba?
whole game. He'll run to a lane, he'll kill it, run to the next, kill it, and he's kind of just chasing them, making them chase him around and keep getting gold. But for Astra, you know, Leshrac has Boots of Travel. The Sniper can just shrapnel and the wave will die. The Pango can kill it in half a second with both his spells. And they're able to just push the lanes quickly and then regroup. Whereas Liquid kind of has to slowly show their hero, show what they're doing.
There might be many, but fuck it. Do you want to ultimate?
Yeah, you need to stun him.
Can we win? No?
No, go.
Oh, this is not gonna happen, bro. Let's go.
Gago.
It did not happen.
Yeah,
this is not going to happen.
It's one of those tough ones. Those moments are always so difficult to get everything working together in concert. And of course, just high movement speed on that hero as well.
It's also just, you know, you kind of feel the pressure of the game, so you're trying to make all these moves, you're trying to make them work, and you only have half a second, 1 second to know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, that moment is very fleeting for the side lane kill like that. McKay taunting it up there.
Uy,
The
BKB.
Dodge.
Hindi nila mahihirapan sila mahuli talaga sniper eh. Ang pwede lang tamalan sa sniper, Marcy lang talaga.
To win this one.
Kahit yung ano na yan, di niya, yung Mars na yan, di niya matatalunan yung sniper. May BKB pa, wala rin talaga, Marcy lang talaga eh.
It's a very deep smoke. Yeah, this is what you gotta do when you're 5, right? You gotta get these wards down. They're just like, there's no way they'd ever expect this ward to exist in this game state.
Nako,
right?
naka-DD.
So you can go for even the more obvious ones in this case, especially when they have a gem. So you kinda gotta YOLO on like the high ground ones at times.
They know that this Roche fight is, if they're going to make a comeback happen, where it needs to happen.
Naka-DD par.
Pinging out that Roche pit. I wouldn't even mind him standing over in that corner.
Ay, napatay ito.
That'd be crazy. Can you imagine?
Papel itong ESF na to.
Vision corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Papel to, pre.
There's been some crazy things with that.
Papel di hapon.
Well, never since, you know, techies.
Right, of course.
He's been gone. We don't have to worry about it as much.
Yeah, the greatest hero.
And you can see Insania, he did not take his gem with him on this mission.
He doesn't even have a sentry down. They could just have a ward of him. And
I mean, if they got you, right? Why waste an extra bit of gold?
I think nowhere else to be, you know?
He's probably just, I would assume he's just playing to steal the Aegis. I don't think there's much more